Medical Game Studios. WPRT-FM Pegram, WPUC HD2 Laverne. Broadcasting 97.5 Murfreesboro, 106.3 Williamson County.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
A Cromwell Media Station.
Live from the Game Nashville studios, it's time for Darren, Daunic, and Chase. With hosts Darren McFarland, Willie Daunic, and Chase McCabe. On Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game.
And a good Thursday morning to you. Welcome into the DDC. Darren McFarland, Derek Mason, Elijah Campbell, man on the board. Hillside Medical Game Studios. Hope everybody's having a good day to this point. Charge me up, Daddy. That's what I heard before the show. So hopefully everybody is charged up and ready to go for the next 4 hours. Willie Daunic is in Ottawa as the Predators take on the Senators tonight at 6 o'clock. So you will hear that broadcast here on these airwaves. Pete Weber and Hal Gill will have your call. I'll have pregame for you starting at 5 o'clock. I just want to say right out of the gates, by the way, we've got a loaded show. Alan Bell is going to join us in about 15 minutes. Eddie George will start the second hour of the program, so that's coming up at 11 o'clock. Eric Hasseltine, who is the voice of the Grizzlies, at high noon, and then our weekly chat with Elliot Friedman at 1 o'clock. So a lot of ground to cover here today. That's why we needed Daddy charged up. Daddy is charged up, and we're ready to go.
Absolutely.
But I have good news to report.
Okay.
Derek. It took 6 days for me to be at the same spot that we talked. Actually, was it? I don't know if it was this past Friday or the Friday before. It may have been. I can't remember which you just made the list. But I was at the same intersection with the bus turning lane, bus-only turning lane, the double bus.
The big long one.
The big long one.
Yeah.
Today.
That looks like an accordion in the middle.
And I am here to report, yes, it does look like an accordion in the middle, that it was indeed in the correct lane.
Finally.
Yes.
They probably was listening.
I have a feeling MTA was listening.
Yeah.
You just made the list.
I think they were.
And that bus was in the – and by the way, I'd noticed this too. I didn't notice this the first go-around, probably because I was so fixated on the accordion bus being in the wrong turning lane. It has its own light. Like it gets a special light.
Yeah, you know what?
Like to
right
turn.
down off of Murfreesboro, it has the same light right here.
Okay. Yeah, that's it's
it goes through.
It's the Bell Road, Murfreesboro Road intersection. That's where I was talking about originally and today. But yeah, it has its own light.
So that makes me – that must have been like a newbie a couple of weeks ago because if you have your own light and your own lane, why are you – yeah.
Right. Agreed.
That had to be a newbie. Yeah.
I'm sure people on the bus are like, what are you doing, man? Our light just turned.
You newbie.
What are you doing? So hopefully that driver got the memo. Like, hey, man. They
were listening to the show.
They talked about you on the DDC. You got to get in the bus lane, dude.
You have to. Good thing about the bus lane, we got our own light, too.
We got our own light, man. Special privileges. Special.
Oh, man.
So, Masters underway.
Yeah.
Down in Augusta. You ever been?
Never been. Never been.
Elijah, ever been?
Never been.
It's on my bucket list.
You should be able to pull some strings, man.
Yeah.
If you really want to go.
Yeah, I'm going to go one of these days. Man, Tiger looks tired. Man.
Well, he's been through a lot, Derek.
Yeah, he is. Look at this, man.
Look, when he had the wreck, did anybody really think we'd be talking about this?
I thought he was done.
Right. That's what a lot of people thought. And here he sits at the Masters. Now, it seems to be a house divided on what people think, how this is going to play out. There are some people that think he can win it, some people that think he's going to be right there to the end on Sunday, And then there's another group that says he won't make the cut.
I just want him to make the cut. It makes it interesting if he makes the cut. You know.
Well, sure.
Whether he wins or not, that's a different story. But if he actually makes the cut, then it gets very interesting.
Well, television wants him to make the cut. I can promise you that.
Augusta wants him to make the cut.
Augusta wants him to make the cut. There's a whole lot of reasons and a whole lot of people that want him to make the cut. The question is, will he make the cut?
Mm-hmm.
As he tees off right now.
Teed off.
You're right. He does. He just, that body. I always talk to our 10-year-olds about body language. His body language does not look good, does it?
Some people wear smiles on their face. Tiger is wearing life on his face right now. That man has had decades taken away from his soul in the last 2 years.
He's probably went through like 20 or 30 years in 2 years.
He may have aged like a dog.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that 2 years recovery.
But you know what? Here's the crazy part about it. He could still beat all three of us with our scores put together.
Yeah. Yes, he could. No, we're playing the scramble, right?
Exactly.
Best ball. And he's playing against us. We get smoked. His body language will look a lot better.
He's walking and we're in the cart.
We're in the cart. He's drinking. We're not.
We're in the cart with the extra balls in our pockets.
Exactly.
Oh, would you see that? Mine finally landed right here in the fairway.
Still get
We
smoked.
hit at
Still get beat.
We hit at the kitty tees.
Sure.
And he's hitting.
We're at
Back
every
at the
advantage
grown-ups.
we can come up with. We're still getting smoked.
Wow.
I'm just saying. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you guess the bad news for him is he doesn't have us on the course. So that's probably why his body language doesn't look great.
Yeah.
But we'll keep you abreast of the scoreboard down in Augusta. Also, Major League Baseball kicking off their season, but they're not kicking. First pitch,
Pitching
everything
off the
under.
season.
Yeah, getting things going.
I know baseball enthusiasts are happy.
Tell you what, looked a little bit bleak there a couple months ago.
Yeah, it did. Didn't think you were going to have a season, or at least a very abbreviated one.
You guys going to do a little bit more talking, maybe? Maybe get together? Maybe time to wrap things up? Pitchers and catchers? You guys heard of that?
Hey, bring your mitts to the ballpark. Let's go.
Come on. Go meet in a nice place. Palm trees and sand.
Hey,
get it worked out.
That usually does it,
well,
right?
that's relaxing.
Yeah.
You
Palm trees, warm weather.
Let your guard down. You're in a good mood, right? Maybe
Couple
you're having
drinks.
coffee before at the poolside before the meeting.
Hey,
Very, very relaxed.
couple pancakes or flapjacks, if you want to call them.
Who really
flapjacks.
says flapjacks, though? Who really says flapjacks? Like,
I'm sure there are people that still say flapjacks.
They name like the Flapjack House, but who really says, "Hey, let's go get some flapjacks"? You know?
Hey, there
Honestly,
are people.
Have you ever heard anybody say, "Let's get some flapjacks"?
When I was younger, yes.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. When I
Although
was
you did
younger.
used to tell me about the stoop, and I learned the stoop from you. I learned the stoop from you.
The stoop and the flapjack. Do you know what a stoop is, Elijah?
Zero clue.
Wow.
I just thought that was the young version of calling me stupid. So I was like, why you call me stupid? What did I say?
The stoop is like the front porch, man. You know?
Okay,
It's
that
like,
makes sense.
I'm going to sit on the stoop, man.
It's kind of what I thought
chill
it
out.
was, but I didn't want to say it over the air and miss it by a mile. So
Or
I played
if you,
it safe.
or if you live like in a row house and they have not necessarily the porch, but they have that little brick wall right there in the front. As you walk down the stairs, you sit on. That's the stoop, man. You sit
That's
on
the
the stoop, and you kick the stuff, man. You know.
Eat flapjacks. Nobody says that, right?
Yes. Listen,
Who?
there
Who
are
do you know
people that
says
still
that?
say flapjacks.
Like, what are you guys thinking for breakfast? You know, I'm kind of feeling flapjacks today. Like, no one says that.
Hey, listen, we have the smartest listeners in America, okay? Call us, text us, do something. If you still say flapjacks or your parents still say flapjacks, let us know.
Do you know anybody, including yourself, that says flapjacks? I want to hear.
I just said it.
Well, I know. That's what I was like. I jumped back in my chair. I'm like, who says flapjacks?
Hey, let me get
Everybody knows what it
get
is.
3 flapjacks. Let me get a stack of flapjacks.
But it's longer than, is it? Well, maybe it's
No,
not.
it's not.
Pancakes, flapjacks.
Pancakes. Nah, that's flapjacks. That sounds better, too. Give me a couple of flapjacks.
There are dozens of us. Dozens!
The amount of people that still refer to them as flapjacks.
Absolutely. It's flapjacks. Sounds cooler. Hey, let me get a
Now, Kyle is right.
Some black coffee and some flapjacks.
That's what look, this is where I was going with. Like, they named the place Flapjack House.
Yeah.
Kyle's right. On our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, people say flapjacks all the time in Gatlinburg. That's true.
There we go.
They named the restaurant Flapjacks.
But still, when you go into flapjacks, what do you say?
Flapjack House.
Can I give me some flapjacks?
But that's another thing.
When you say pancakes, they probably like, huh? What you talking about?
No, they don't say huh.
Yeah, they do. What you talking about?
Somebody says huh.
Give me some flapjacks.
Come on, the pancakes.
I'm just saying, flapjacks. I'm bringing it back. I'm bringing flapjack back. I am bringing it back. Every place that I go to now, if they have pancakes, I'm going to say, hey, can I get some flapjacks?
Well, John the Mailman says from now on our text line, he says from now on I'm going to start asking for flapjacks.
There we go.
Go to IHOP and ask for flapjacks.
Absolutely.
D-Mace starting.
I'm starting the trend.
Flapjack movement.
Hey, hold the whipped cream and the cherries. Give me the flapjacks.
Unnamed texter says flapjacks are oat bars, not pancakes.
They're pancakes. We call them flapjacks.
I'm pretty sure the Flapjack House in Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge is not the oat bar house.
Yeah. Where I come from, we call them flapjacks. Michigan, call them flapjacks. I mean, you can go back and forth, pancake flapjacks, but I'm going to call them flapjacks.
Nate wants to go into business with you. He says, let's open up a Flapjack House.
We can get that trending in Nashville. I'm telling you.
Why should Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge have the market corner?
Anything you bring to Nashville and is new, it's trending.
Probably is going to work.
Yeah, it's going to work. So I call it flapjacks.
Just call flapjacks.
Yeah, just flapjacks.
That's it.
Yeah. Flapjacks on 5th.
Let's see if we can get Alan Bell to invest. We'll talk to him, and we'll invest some time into him next from Sportsline here on the DDC, ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Sometimes their glass is half full.
That was unbelievable. It was the best NFL draft they've ever had.
Sometimes glass half empty.
What are we getting ourselves into here? Tough game.
And sometimes it's all about the numbers.
One win, and they've gone on this streak, and now they're at 500.
Hang out with Darren, Daunic, and Chase from 10 to 2 during your workday. Presented by Curacion CBD on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app. Watch live on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube.
Hi guys, are you struggling with erectile dysfunction and sick of the pills? Well, today, Thursday, April 7th, we're doing something special. Hillside Medical Clinic uses the most powerful form of wave therapy, shown by Cambridge to repair blood vessels and get rid of ED at its core. If you're ready to put a stop to your ED, call us now, and not only will the assessment and ultrasound be free, we'll also include something unique that produces immediate results in the bedroom. You're going to love that. And today only, we're offering 3 additional treatments to our patients free. This means that if you notice results fading, we'll retreat you free of charge. This is unprecedented and worth hundreds of dollars. Call today, Thursday, April 7th, and qualify free. 615-576-5000. That's 615-576-5000. Put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and get your love life back. Call Hillside Medical Clinic now to qualify. This offer ends today. 615-576-5000.
Finishing jobs on time, never being idle, and powerful equipment. Meade has the John Deere excavating equipment and the smart grade technology solutions for you and your business. Power your business with a new, used, or rented excavator and get the performance you expect and service you can rely on. Call us today for the equipment built as tough and reliable as you, or visit us at meadtractor.com. That's meadtractor.com.
What if you could be debt-free in 3 weeks? Hey, Willie Daunic here. My friends at Loan Pronto are helping people do it every day. It's Loan Pronto's debt consolidation home refi, wiping out tens of thousands in credit card debt. Listen, your home's value is way up. You can refinance now, take money out to pay off all your credit cards, eliminate PMI charges, pay off personal loans, or other high-interest debt. One local couple had over $50,000 in credit card debt. Loan Pronto did a debt consolidation refi, And even though their mortgage rate went up a tad, they cut their monthly payments by $900. Why pay 20% interest when you can consolidate it to one low payment with a mortgage APR in the threes? Homeowners who do it save an average of $800 a month. Do it now and even skip your next house payment altogether. That's what I call financial freedom. Call Loan Pronto now. 615-499-5780. That's 615-499-5780 or loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166-1781, subject to lender approval.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. I'd start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. So much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. If not, give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover. All for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 7750 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 7750. Enjoy.
Interact with Darren, Daunic, and Chase. Call or text the show at 615-737-1025. Driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com.
Back here on the DDC, we'll give some tickets away to see the Preds and the Sharks Tuesday at Bridgestone Arena. Sometime during the show today. Don't forget, you can watch us streaming live on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook every single day. Our video streaming brought to you by the law offices of Amanda Gentry.
Baby shark, shark, shark.
Not having any luck right now with Alan Bell.
I wonder what are the odds of Tiger. I'm sure there are like 3 stages of odds for Tiger. Making a cut, making it on the last day, or winning the Masters. I wonder what the odds are for him.
Well, let me look it up.
I'm sure they are
looks like
not
John
good.
Rahm is the favorite.
Yeah.
Outright. You're talking about outright winner?
Yeah, outright. John. Yep. Dustin Johnson is third. 14-1 open and 16-1 current.
I've got him. Yeah, he's tied with a group.
Yeah.
I've got him. This is on DraftKings.
Okay.
DraftKings. There's trying to see. Tiger is on down there. He's on down. Wow, still going. Still going. Here we go. Plus 5,500 to outright win.
Do they have him making a cut? What is his odds of making a cut?
So plus 5,500 outright win. Plus 1,400 top 20. Plus 700 top. Wait a minute. No, I'm sorry. Top 5. Sorry. They refreshed and it was all jacked up. So top 5, Tigers plus 1,400. Plus 5,500 to win. Plus 700 for top 10. Those are the categories I've got.
Okay.
And I'm sure, look, if I dig in here, you can get to make the cut.
Yeah, to make the cut and everything else.
And I don't know. I would be curious to see exactly what he would be to make the cut.
Well, that face he made, it wasn't good when he hit off the tee.
No, I'm not sure I would bet on after seeing his body language. It's not good.
Yeah, I wouldn't bet on that one.
It's not good.
On that one. Oh, well.
It's a great place if you've never been. It is definitely a bucket list place. If you haven't been there, it's very few things people talk about that really, really build something up. How many times does it actually live up to the hype?
Not many.
I mean, it does. You know, there are obviously things we could start naming that do live up to the hype. But a lot of times you're a little bit disappointed, right?
Yeah.
I would say. Like, it's just hard if you have something built a certain way in your mind. And, it's like you get there and it's like, yeah, we enjoyed it, or that was nice, but, that's typically how it works. That Augusta is not it. Augusta is the place where you go and you're like, wow, this is actually better than I thought. Even no matter how you build it up, you come away going, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's impossible to build it up too much and for you to go and be disappointed. I think it's impossible.
I mean, especially if you are a golf enthusiast and you have not been to Augusta, then I'm sure, you would be in awe. Sort of like the Notre Dame and TSU thing we talked about yesterday, where those young kids will get an opportunity to go to Notre Dame and, actually be on their field. It's one of those deals where, it was a bucket, it's one of those things where you go there and it's like, it was, if I felt the history in that stadium, and I'm pretty sure that's how Augusta is. You go there and it's like, I felt, the history and everything that has went on at Augusta once you get there. It was sort of like Pebble Beach. When I went to Pebble Beach, it was like, man, this is cool. This is really cool,
Yep.
So
let's talk to Alan Bell from Sportsline. Alan, have you been to Augusta?
I have. It's unbelievable.
Right? You cannot overhype it, right?
No, you can't. And what's crazy about it is first off, appreciate you guys having me on. Second, when you see the course, like the hills and the undulations in real life, the TV doesn't do it justice at all.
Mm-mm.
Like going up 18, it's a mountain, man.
Yeah.
Like some of those bunkers, you cannot see out of them.
No.
Yeah. So I'm with you, man. The TV doesn't even do it justice. It's nicer there than how it looks on TV, and on TV it looks perfect.
Just to put this in perspective, D-Mace,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm walking around on. Torn ACL, torn meniscus. My knees are wreck. There's no way. I could not accept free tickets. I wouldn't go.
Walk it.
I couldn't walk it. No. It's so hilly. It is, man, it is a workout.
Oh, wow.
Because if you go, you got to walk the course. I mean, you got to take in everything. There's no way, man. I would be dead. My knee would be dead. It'd be about the size of a beach ball.
It would. And the interesting part, it's so green, and they've got people that walk around that, you don't really see them, but they've got those sticks where they pick up trash. Legitimately, these dudes are like NFL Combine quick, right? You don't see it. Yeah. And then number two, they also have these dudes that go around and they've got green spray paint. Right?
Yes.
So there's even the littlest of where you just kind of turn your foot, maybe pull up some grass or whatever. They come by and spray it. They are not having one brown spot.
No.
It's unbelievable.
Derek, nothing is out of place. Nothing. It's unbelievable. It seems like it's fantasy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the efficiency of how they run that operation is just it's perfection.
It's mind-blowing. Did I see where Twin Spires is going away in this state? Did I see that?
Yeah, it's interesting because Twin Spires, kind of gets caught in an area between horse racing and sports betting where Tennessee doesn't fully operate out that way. I'll give you a perfect example. If you two ran a sports book that was just fully on college sports and mainly college player props, and in Tennessee, player props are illegal, right? You just have to find yourself a spot where legislation really is going to help you on that much.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah.
That makes sense. So are they going away this month? Is that right?
I think so. Yeah, that's the last place. But, some of those things, it's really, whenever they kind of pull up their snakes and go.
Yeah.
But I think that this month, is when they're supposed to do.
I saw you tweet out the $10 ticket. I don't know where it came from, so that's where I'm going with this. Somebody nailed the exact score of the national championship game, so a $10 bet, they won $2,300 or something.
That was me.
That was you.
Yeah.
Oh.
That was me. Yeah.
Snap.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah. You're right. I couldn't tell. I was like, is that Al? I couldn't tell. I was like, is that Alan's ticket? Is that, because I know you post other, or you comment on other people's, when people send you I'm sure, on one hand it's flattering, on the other hand you're just like, oh my gosh, like I have to see everybody's winning ticket or losing ticket. So that was you.
Yeah, that was me. Now, I'll say this. So we it was, projected final score, 72-69. It's at plus 23,000, all right? So took 72-69, $10, with that, $2,300. But it wasn't the only one. Like, I played, I think, 9 other, kind of around that range. So, subtract $100 from that, right? Like, I took some shots at some other scores. But, yeah, man, like, can't do it. It was like, I was nervous when that dude's foot was on the side.
I bet you were. Yes, you were.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't good in accounting. I hated accounting in college, but I think that minus that 100 still makes you in the black. I think that's pretty good. Just business sense, I think that's still a good ticket.
Yeah, it was nice, and I'll say this, we also played a strategy on the game too, to where I couldn't figure out if I wanted to take, plus or minus the 4, on either side. So they offered like winning margins, right? So I took Kansas to win by 1 to 5 points at plus 325. Kansas to win by 6 to 10 points at plus 340, and then North Carolina to win by 1 to 5 points at plus 400. So at $100 on each one of those tickets, we built ourselves a 15-point window on both sides, and all we needed to do was have one hit, and it was an automatic profit. And obviously, Kansas ended up winning by 3. So that part was nice too, man. We just used Vegas' numbers against the book.
We're talking about Alan Bell, Sportsline. Now that the Final Four is over with, baseball is just starting. The most exciting thing right now is the Masters. It seems like Jon Rahm is he's the odds-on favorite to win. Where does Tiger fall in that? Not just winning, but making the cut, top 10, and everything else.
Yeah, so there are multiple odds and multiple ways to look at it. Like, you even have odds from like Tiger to miss the cut, right, at like minus 165. So you got Tiger kind of all over the board, and every book is a little bit different, right? So at one point last week it was 40-1, and then it went to 20-1, and then it went to 16-1. And here's what makes it so difficult. Tiger Woods to win the tournament has 3 times more money than any other player. Millions have come in on Tiger to win, right? That Tiger to make the cut, I think, was, plus 190 the last I saw, which came down from, plus 400. Let's say just on the show. I can't give an exact answer because so much money came in on him that it was decreasing, tenfold every hour. It's nuts. There's never been a singular person that's been more important to their individual sport than Tiger Woods. I at least from a betting perspective, he's different than any other player I've ever seen.
Now, beside the odds-on favorite, whether it be Rahm, Thomas, or Dustin Johnson, which other guy is bringing in a lot of bets to win the Masters?
Yeah, so you're looking at guys like you said, Rahm, obviously, is a favorite there. I'll tell you what, somebody who's taken a lot of money, kind of surprisingly, was Adam Scott. Right, Adam Scott was taking a ton of money from John Rahm, Justin Thomas, Dustin Johnson. Scotty Scheffler was another guy. That's taking it a lot. I believe, right now he is plus 1,600 to win the tournament. You look at Rory McIlroy, Brooks Koepka, those two guys as well. They're around there at 1,600 and 1,800. Colin Morikawa is another name that people cut a ton of money on. And then, Will Zalatoris, which his name comes up every single week. It's a young guy who's playing excellent golf, who's finding himself in the top 10. He's taking in a good amount of public money as well.
All right, last thing, Alan. Give us a baseball prop. Something maybe we should, as baseball season begins, anything you're eyeballing that could be a good bet.
Yeah, so first, I love the Blue Jays this year. All right, I'm big on their win totals. I'm big on, you could get them to win the AL East right now. I believe they're plus 225, somewhere around there. Look, this team, it just matches. They just show up and hit. They're going to outrun people game after game after game. And they've got good pitching, too. So I really like them. You can't get enough of anything the LA Dodgers. Now, their numbers and win total and everything is going to be juiced to the gills. But this team, it was already going to be the World Series favorite they add Freddie Freeman. You know what I mean? So, like, you can't get enough of those. Even if they are still high, yeah, you can get them. But I'll say, like, mine and what I'm going to tell you is all going to be about the Toronto Blue Jays. Take them over on the win total. Take them to win the AL East. Take them to win the AL. But honestly, the team is going to be very good. Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Alan Bell, good stuff as always, my man. Have a great rest of your day. We'll talk soon.
Yeah, appreciate it, boy. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it.
Alan Bell, Sportsline. Alan Bell, 247 on Twitter. Give him a follow. He is.
Join ESPN 1025 The Game for the Music City Celebrity Golf Tournament. Benefiting Folds of Honor on May 16th at Hermitage Golf Course. Put your team together and come play with the athletes, musicians, and other local celebrities. The Music City Celebrity Golf Tournament. Sign up at theGameNashville.com/golf.
Pro Golf is back in Middle Tennessee. Mark your calendars for the Simmons Bank Open, May 5th through 8th. You can see the next wave of PGA Tour stars. Be sure to visit the Sand Trap at the 14th hole and check out great local food trucks, including Hattie B's, Hogwood Barbecue, Dream Burger, Padrino Pops, cocktails from Jack Daniels, and try the Sand Trap Cream Ale from New Heights Brewing Company. Purchase your tickets now at SimmonsBankOpen.com.
The racing, the big ones, the camping. It's all just bigger at Talladega. The Talladega NASCAR Weekend, April 23rd through the 24th. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
It's the official Bud Light Preds watch party as your Nashville Predators take on the Ottawa Senators this Thursday night. Puck drops at 6, but the party starts at 5:30 with all kinds of specials. See you at headquarters, Beercade, downtown Nashville on 2nd Avenue. Go Preds!
Erectile dysfunction ruins sex, but it's more than that. It harms otherwise good relationships. It destroys marriages. It can cause depression and anxiety, and it can be extremely hard on a man's self-esteem. This is Kim for the Tennessee Men's Clinic, and if you're suffering with ED, if it's affecting you, I want you to know that if you're like most men, we can treat it and get you back to the man you used to be. At the Tennessee Men's Clinic, we're ED experts. Our protocols have success rates as high as 90%. We've successfully treated thousands of men in the Music City, and we have a variety of treatment options and treatment combinations that could have you performing like you haven't in years. You could even last up to an hour and experience great sex again that is satisfying for both you and your partner. In treating your health, expertise matters. So make an appointment today. Your initial appointment is only $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. Call 615-208-9090 or go to TennesseeMen'sClinic.com. Visit our website to learn more, including side effects. Treatments extra. Results vary.
Realizing Geico has over 85 years of experience saving folks money and providing great customer service is like realizing there's a crumb tray on the bottom of your toaster, and you don't have to keep turning the toaster upside down to clean it.
How long has that been there? Hey, who needs some croutons?
It's something that's been right there in front of you all along, like the dedicated Geico claims team available to you in the event of an accident to get you back on the road quickly, or realizing that baby carrots are just regular carrots that have been shaved down.
I don't care. They're still cute.
It's something you can't believe you never realized before. Like how Geico's 97% customer satisfaction rating means Geico is committed to providing the best service for their customers. Or how you can peel the top layer of tape off a lint roller and there's a fresh layer underneath.
Marcy, wait till you hear about the lint roller.
You mean how the handle is reusable?
Wait, what?
Trust. It's just one of the many reasons to switch to Geico. They're all right there in front of you.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. So you have to drive 300 miles to your cousin's wedding. Okay, so it's his fourth. But you know what they say, fourth time's the charm. Well, here's the problem. Your tires are as bald as I am. But lucky for you, eBay Motors has tires for just about every make and model. Plus wheels, lug nuts, jack stands, and more. 122 million parts. Do they have tissues? Oh, good, because I'm definitely a crier. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
Hit City is back. Play ball!
And that's gone.
John Singleton's first at-bat as a Sound.
Your Nashville Sounds continue their series against the Durham Bulls.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Sounds win.
Coverage starts at 6:20 on your home for Nashville Sounds Baseball.
ESPN
94.9 in the Game Nashville app.
Hey, this is Pete Weber. You're listening to Nashville's best sports talk. ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Stop by Social Furniture at 5412 Charlotte Avenue in Nashville and enter a chance to win a pair of tickets to see the Preds take on the Blackhawks at Bridgestone Arena on Saturday, April 16th. Don't forget to check out their new sofas while you're there. By the way, if you find one you like, jump on it. If they've got it in stock, because I don't know if you've done the whole furniture game. Nothing's quick.
No.
It's quick. If they have to order it, if it's not in the store, you're...
Jumping on furniture in the store is a bold idea.
I mean, honestly, like it's gonna take months if it's not in the store, right? It's not there.
Well, of
it's gonna take months. So if you find a sofa there, go on and get it. Must be 18 years of age or older to enter the contest. No purchase necessary. On Twitter, D-Mace.
Yes.
By the way, special thanks to Alan Bell for joining us. Good stuff from him. At Preds0935 has asked me, how much money did I get for the Jeep? Well, Steve, it was free.
Free, yeah.
It was free, so I got nothing.
You got free.
I got a large headache of a lot of people.
You got a lot of phone calls.
Trying to get in touch with me. But, we have flagged that. We have told Craigslist and they're taken down. So I got nothing. Because it was free. What I don't have was free. Pretty funny message on our text line driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, and it's from Griffin, and he says, guys, have you ever heard of IHOF? No, we have not heard of IHOF. D-Mace?
I've never
you
heard of it.
IHOF?
No, not until you explain what it was.
International House of Flapjacks? No?
Yeah, hey, I'll take that. But I guarantee you that
you guarantee whatever you're about to say.
Trademark that.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, they didn't want somebody to come behind.
Oh, you mean all the right?
Yeah,
of course.
IHOF and,
yes,
and they trademarked everything.
Yes, and that happens. That typically happens.
Because you remember McDonald's and McDowell's?
Exactly. I mean, there you go.
They got the Big Mac. We got the Big Mick. That's a Coming to America reference, people, if y'all hadn't seen it.
Heidi from Dixon on our text line says, is it bad that I view the landscape on golf courses as a big waste of space and land? LOL, it disappoints me to look at it, honestly. I feel like I'm in the minority. Yeah, I would say you're probably in the minority, would be my guess.
I just want to know if I can get those people to do my lawn. The people that
No kidding.
Man, because that is pristine.
Well, but they do it if you had somebody there every day, your yard would look like that.
Bugs don't even land on that grass.
No, but they have someone there every day. I used to work at a country club at a golf course in college, and it was just all college kids and high school kids in the summer months. It was like Caddyshack, honestly.
I'm sure.
I mean,
I'm surprised y'all got anything
done.
Think
about the grounds crew, all college kids and high school kids. Yeah, that was productive. Everybody meet in the woods on hole 12. Tom's got the goods.
Bring a lighter.
I'm sure there was
back then, Elijah. Yes, it was.
I'm sure there were a bunch of brown spots in those grass.
And it was a nice country club. Let me just say that.
Oh man,
very nice country club. But I had golf balls for years.
I'm sure you did.
Years, because I used to mow the fairways, and you get up in the woods at all, and you're going to find a million balls.
I'm sure you would.
And of course, at the country club, you're not getting flowery balls or colored balls. You're getting really nice golf balls.
I would have started an aftermarket if I was you. Hey, sell them for 25 cents back then. You could have put yourself through college.
I needed to.
Man,
I needed to, but yeah. Nate on our text line says a golf course other than Augusta is a great place for wildlife to live. It's not necessarily a waste of space. I agree. I mean, look, the way I look at it is, I mean, you can't even – the golf course has got lots of trees.
Yeah, so you
know, I mean, we're losing everything in this market.
Yeah, you got a point there.
I mean, where I'm at, where I've been looking at trees and landscape and grass and all that stuff for a long, long time, it's all gone.
Yeah,
it's all gone. Now it's dirt piles and machines and
concrete.
Yeah. So I kind of look at it that way.
And I'm sure the animals kind of look at it that way,
They
too.
probably do.
Like,
Yeah,
please.
They probably
don't do anything to this golf course.
So it looks like Harrington and Higgs and Berger and Fleetwood all are tied, sitting atop the leaderboard at -1. Tiger Woods is even, though, but he's only through 2 holes.
Yeah.
Just narrowly missed a birdie putt. Narrowly.
Yeah. So we will keep you on top of the Masters scoreboard throughout the course of the day. Eddie George will join us at 11 o'clock. There was big news. We talked about it yesterday. Big news concerning TSU. They had a big press conference yesterday, and it's the first time Notre Dame. Isn't that amazing? First time Notre Dame has ever played in HBCU. I think about how long Notre Dame has been playing football.
Yeah, for a very long time.
Long time. They've made a lot of movies about it. None of them were against HBCU schools.
Not at all.
I think the last game in Rudy was against Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
Rudy.
But this will be, I mean, it's big for Notre Dame, but it's even bigger for TSU. And, you know, I explained it yesterday. It can be used as a recruiting tool. It gives these young men an opportunity to play in a stadium, an historical stadium, other than their historical stadium, but one with 60,000 fans, and just the whole mystique and nostalgia of you know that stadium. So, you know, it will be good for everybody involved.
Jeff in Kingston Springs on our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHunter.com. At FanDuel, or on FanDuel, over the last 24 hours, he says Tigers' odds of making the cut have been fluctuating from -108 to +108.
Well, I guess he's starting off right.
So that's actually not those are pretty good odds that that's odds. That's FanDuel saying they believe he's going to make the cut.
Okay. Well, he's even now after, 2 holes, so.
Yeah, but it is the first day. So,
yeah.
Eddie George at 11 o'clock. We'll talk to Eric Hasseltine, the Grizzlies. Regular season winding down in the NBA, so what a story they've been all season long. We'll get the latest on them, and then Elliot Friedman at 1 o'clock. Back to wrap up the first hour next.
Every Wednesday at 6, we go behind the glass with current and former Predators players, along with coaches and broadcasters for Nashville Live.
Yost, Hal, and I were just talking about last night's game. It was a big game for us.
Presented by New Amsterdam Vodka, Spring Hill Heating and Cooling, and Red Spirits and Wine on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
From the Fox 17 News Code Red Weather Center.
I'm Fox 17 News Code Red meteorologist Dan Guthrie. Partly cloudy skies for us today with highs in the upper 50s and lower 60s. We get cooler for the rest of the week.
This weather report brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Victory Award-winning New Amsterdam Vodka knows all about it, but in life, it's not always so clear. So New Amsterdam Vodka believes that in life, you've got to find your own wins. You've got to overcome your fears, go all in, even when you've got nothing at all. Find your wins. And when you do, raise that glass of New Amsterdam Vodka in victory. You've earned it. New Amsterdam Spirits Company, Modesto, California.
Smokeville Smoke Shop in Hendersonville wants to invite you, your friends, and family to their huge 420 blowout event. Live music, on-site food and dessert trucks, discounts store-wide, and a free dab bar. Smokeville Smoke Shop's 420 event will be held at their flagship store located at 699 West Main Street in Hendersonville on Wednesday, April 20th. Visit them on Instagram at Smokeville Smoke Shop for more event details and to take advantage of additional special offers. Smokeville Smoke Shop for all your smoking needs.
Most shoppers today fall into one of two categories. You could be like Dave, who settles for nothing but the finest.
I drive only European luxury sedans, wear the finest Italian leather shoes. My shirts are custom made, and I expect white glove service from those I do business with. I appreciate world-class brands, and at this point in my life, I just don't want to compromise on quality, no matter what I buy.
Or you might be like Steve, whose goal is to always get the best deal.
I'm frugal. I'm all about finding value. I want the best price, and I don't mind going out of my way to get it. I work hard for my money, and I just want to make sure when I buy something, I can have confidence in knowing I'm not overpaying for it. Stop being cheap, it's being smart.
You never see these two guys in the same store. Except for one.
That's why I shop at Genesis Diamonds.
Genesis Diamonds is that rare shopping experience where you can have it all. Uncompromising luxury and unbeatable value. Exceptional service and the guaranteed best price in America. A premium experience and a smart purchase. This is where the best of all worlds come together. Genesis Diamonds, voted best jewelry store year after year. Green Hills and Cool Springs.
Wasn't sure we'd get here, but we're here, folks. MLB opening day is here. Right now, all customers can swing for the fences with a no-sweat same-game parlay on FanDuel Sportsbook. Joe Rexrode here inviting you to pick any MLB game, combine at least 3 bets. Again, you got the winner, you got the point spread, you've got first home run hitter, you got over-under, whatever you want to do. One bet, bigger payout. So if your bet doesn't win, FanDuel will refund you up to $10 in free bets. If you're not sure what to bet on, check out FanDuel's popular same-game parlays to see what most fans are betting on and get in on that action. There's no better place to bet America's pastime than on America's #1 sportsbook. Head over to your FanDuel account or download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and sign up using promo code Joe102 to bet your no-sweat same-game parlay today. Again, that is promo code Joe102. You must be 21 or older and present in Tennessee. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued is now drawable site credit that expires 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call the Tennessee Red Line. 800-889-9789.
Meshing journalism.
They are 2 scores behind you. The math says that increases your chances of winning.
With sports fandom.
I stayed up till 1:30 in the morning, just emotionally numb from Titans and Packers.
And sarcasm.
You guys are the worst.
Robbie Stanley and Joe Rexrode are Robbie and Rexrode. No duh. Weekday mornings from 6 to 10. Brought to you by Little Guys Movers on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN.
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app. Watch live on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. If you've missed any of today's show, just search Darren, Daunic, and Chase on Apple, Spotify, or on your favorite podcast platform.
Seltzerland is turning Nashville into a hard seltzer paradise. That'll be Saturday, April 30th at Riverside Golf Links. Enjoy this one-of-a-kind immersive experience as you spend the day tasting over 100 unique hard seltzers, including mouthwatering munchies, tons of seltzer swag, and bust out the gram for the most Insta-worthy moments. Seltzerland has rounded up the best hard seltzer brands in the land for one epic day dedicated to the bubbly brew everyone can get behind. Go to thegamenashville.com/contest to enter for a chance to win tickets to Seltzerland. Back here on the DDC, Darren McFarland, Derek Mason, Elijah Campbell, man in the board here at the Hillside Medical Game Studios. Eddie George coming up at 11 o'clock. Looking forward to that. We're also going to play after Eddie. We're going to play the game that we were getting into at the end of the show yesterday, because in light of the announcement, TSU playing Notre Dame in early September 2023. I think it was, September 2nd, September 3rd, one of those, Labor Day weekend, 2023. Played the game, will I or will I not be on the Titans roster in early September 2023? Because there's a lot of interesting names that we were unable to get to yesterday. A lot. And I want to know, because the NFL, things change so quick. It is interesting, by the way, to see how the whole Baker Mayfield thing, it seems like, and it feels like, and I know we had Tim Hasselback on earlier in the week, that doesn't it feel like other teams around the league are looking at the Browns with the side stare because of what they did with Deshaun Watson? And they're like, yeah, we're not going to help you out with Baker. Like, you're stuck. Cut him, eat the dead money, and, I guess for the ones who are interested in Baker, like, we'll get him that away. We're not giving you anything. Well, that's what it feels like.
No one's going to – I would be surprised if anyone made a trade for Baker.
Why?
I said I would be surprised if anyone.
No, I'm saying why?
Why would they?
Why,
yeah.
But wouldn't that be the case for Carson Wentz? Didn't everybody know that Indy was moving? Chris Ballard, right after the season of his press conference, you could tell they were moving on from him.
But from this respect, though, because I think there are a lot of teams out there mad, too, because of the money that Cleveland gave Deshaun Watson.
That's exactly what I'm getting at.
And they basically reset the quarterback market with that contract. And now the Chargers, the Ravens, the Raiders, who else is quarterback? Cincinnati. Teams like that, they're upset because their quarterback is going to want what Deshaun Watson got. And rightfully so. So there are owners out there that are very upset with the Haslam's probably right now because of, the guarantee. It's not even the contract. It's not even the contract. It's the guarantee. Because the contract, as we know, the contract could be whatever it wants to be. But the contract, if it's a 7-year deal, it's really a 4-year deal, and the rest of it is ballooned, and they can cut them after that if they choose to. But this one, it is fully guaranteed.
Yeah. That's what it feels like.
That
I'm
one
with you.
makes people upset.
Sounds like you're with me. Like that, it feels like the rest of the league is looking at the Browns with a side stare.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, really? You did that? And so fine. Now you're stuck. Now you got to get rid of Baker. We're not giving you anything. We're not. We're just going to wait for you to release him and eat the dead money, which will be a lot. And you know what? If we're interested, then we'll go after Baker. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, and if I'm a team, I'm thinking the same thing.
Because there's no way, honestly, at least I don't think so. Carson Wentz has gone through more valleys than Baker Mayfield at this point. Has he not?
No, he has.
Like, I question him more than I do Baker Mayfield. And I've questioned Baker Mayfield. Like, I said a lot last year, like, I'm just not sure. Like, is he not? Like, some games I watch, I'm like, yeah. He's got it, right? He's the guy. He's got it. And then there's other games I'm like, no, I don't know. I'm confused. Like Wentz, I was not. You guys know we made our predictions, and I was like, I'm not picking the Colts to go in the playoffs because I don't trust Carson Wentz. Like I need to see it. I need to be wrong and see it before I pick them because everybody was going crazy. Oh, the Colts got Carson Wentz. Oh my gosh. Oh, the odds change. Indianapolis is the favorite in the AFC South. I was like, I'm not as in love with Carson Wentz as everybody else. And obviously it played out that way. Baker, I think he's more proven than Carson Wentz. I trust him more than Carson Wentz. And the fact is when teams are always desperate for a quarterback, always, and you don't hear anything on that front tells me everybody's been giving Cleveland the side stare since the Deshaun Watson move.
Well, I think Cleveland are valuing Baker Mayfield more than what other teams are valuing him. Meaning, if a team does ask about Baker Mayfield, I think the Browns are saying, oh, well, give us a 2 and a 3, or 2 and a 4. And other teams are like, I was thinking more like maybe a free agent and a 7, possibly. I'm not giving you a 2 and a 4 or a 2 and a 3. I know you're going to release the guy pretty soon anyway. So I give you a 7 and a 7th round pick in 2029 and a 7th round pick in 2030. You can have, I give you that and you give me Baker, but I think the Browns value him more than what other teams are looking at him as. He reminds me of a younger Fitzpatrick. That's what he reminds me of.
I don't think the Browns value him at all, do they?
I think they do. I think they still value him as a starting quarterback. There are a lot of people that value him as a starting quarterback, but they're not paying or they're not giving up starting quarterback return for him. Starting quarterback in the NFL, a good starting quarterback in the NFL should garner at least a second-round pick, in between a second and a third, at least. Well, other teams may value him at that, but they're not giving that to you because they know that you can't be stuck with both of these guys.
Right, but why did Washington get some? Why did they give up something
for
Carson Wentz?
Because it's different. I think it's different because Indianapolis got rid of Wentz first before they got the quarterback. So they wasn't stuck in this dilemma.
You're saying, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Cleveland put the cart before the horse. And it was they almost were forced into doing it.
Yeah.
You know? And they figure, okay, once we get Deshaun Watson, we can get rid of somebody's going to want Baker. And other teams were like, after they saw that contract, they was like, nope, we want him, but we're not going to give you anything for him.
You're going to have to get rid of him.
You got to get rid of him anyway. Okay, whether you get rid of him now or you get rid of him in June or July, you got to get rid of him.
Mm-hmm.
So teams are just sitting back.
Yeah. I don't think they're not going to be able to make a move. I told you. I said this last week, and I'll just keep saying it until I'm either right or wrong on it, because eventually we will evaluate this and start really coming up with, I guess, our real conclusions on whether this is going to work out or not. I do not believe this is going to work out. I don't. I believe this is set up for failure. What Cleveland has done is going to be set up for failure. I don't think it's going to work out.
Well, if they don't win a Super Bowl, it's a failure.
With the draft picks and the money and the dead money and how this whole thing is going to affect them, I think it's set up for failure. It's not because Deshaun Watson isn't a good enough quarterback. I don't know what kind of person he is, because obviously a lot of that's in question. But we know his talents on the field. He's an elite quarterback. Mm-hmm. But I think there's going to be just too much stuff to overcome. I think it's going to be a failed project, a massive failed project. To give up all that and to do all that and not win at the highest level, which is ultimately why they did it, and I don't believe they will.
Well, they have to win a Super Bowl. They have to.
And I don't think it's going to happen.
When you make that trade and give him that guaranteed money, you have to get to the Super Bowl and win it.
Coming up to begin the second hour of the program, Eddie George joins us next.
ElectronicExpress.com. We make it happen.
Trying to find a new home right now is next to impossible. Very little inventory, prices are crazy high, rates are moving up. Here's a better idea. Let my friends at Loan Pronto refinance your current home, turn all that equity you have into cash, and totally transform your house. A new kitchen, new bathroom, a pool. Think about it. Your home value is up. Instead of wasting all that on an overpriced new house, convert that equity into cash for a home makeover. One local couple did it and got $200,000 out. They added new hardwoods, an outdoor living space, a swimming pool with spa and all new cabinets and appliances, plus a home office. Now they have their dream home, and they never had to move. Call Loan Pronto. Ask about their home improvement refi. Give your home a total makeover and do it now. You can even skip your next house payment in the process. Call now, 615-499-5780. That's 615-499-5780 or loanpronto.com. 615-499-5780. Equal housing lender. NMLS 166-1781. Subject to lender approval.
Golfers, tee it up this year at Edwin Watts Golf Shops for the hottest new arrivals from Callaway. Featuring the new Rogue ST drivers, Callaway's most stable driver ever, with tungsten speed cartridge, jailbreak speed frame, and AI flash face. Engineered for max speed and forgiveness. 4 different models to fit every golfer's needs. Think speed? Go Rogue. Swing by Edwin Watts Golf Shops and get custom fit for the new Rogue ST drivers today. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee, and shop us online at worldwidegolfshops.com.
Parman Energy is your one-stop petroleum solution across all of Tennessee, offering turnkey petroleum solutions for professionals in major industries, serving trucking fleets, construction companies, industrial plants, and more. Whether a large corporation or owner-operator, Parman Energy has your diesel fuel, lubricant, DEF, and equipment needs. No matter how you're getting there, start with Parman. Visit ParmanEnergy.com for more info. Your Tennessee petroleum solution providing totally outrageous customer service.
You're the one who protects the flock, and that requires an eye for detail. Because when safety and well-being are on the line, it's the details that can save lives. Even when no one else is watching, you see everything. Grainger gets you, and we're here for you, and all the ones who get it done with a wide range of safety products and solutions, plus board-certified safety consultants here to answer your questions. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
From the Hillside Medical Game Studios, WPRT-FM Pegram, WPUC HD2 Laverne, broadcasting on Alexa.
I appreciate that.
And other smart speakers.
ESPN
1025 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
A Cromwell Media Station.
Live from the Game Nashville studios, it's time for Darren, Daunic, and Chase. With hosts Darren McFarland, Willie Daunic, and Chase McCabe. On Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
1025 The Game.
Second hour on this Thursday. Darren McFarland, Derek Mason with you. Let's head over to the campus, TSU. Big announcement yesterday. September 2nd, 2023. Tennessee State will be playing Notre Dame in South Bend. Pretty cool stuff. First time Notre Dame has ever played an HBCU. That's just still hard to believe.
It is.
And Eddie now joins us, the head coach of the TSU Tigers. Eddie, what's going on?
Hey, blessed, man. How you guys doing? Hey, D, what's going on, brother?
What's going on, EG?
Hanging in there, brother.
He's drinking a lot of water, Eddie, because he's been eating hot Doritos during the break.
Oh, is that right? Well, which flavor?
The flaming hot ones.
Is it really flaming hot?
Yes.
This was the conversation during the break, Eddie. I'll tell you what, I'm going to ask Eddie. I'm like, what is wrong with you? He's like, these Doritos are tearing me up.
Hey, man, my head is sweating, man.
Yeah, I'll stay away from those for sure. I'll stay away from those.
Well, this was a really, really cool announcement yesterday. How did this all come about?
Well, honestly, I can't take the credit for this. This really comes down to our leadership and with Mickey Allen and my chief of staff, Dusty Bennett, for putting this all together. Initially, when you get an opportunity like this to play a Power 5 school, you look at the motives behind it, especially us being in this position. And at first, I was reluctant because I didn't want to put my team in a situation where we can't be competitive. But in order for us to go where we want to be, we got to play the best, and we got to see what that looks like. We have to have an idea of what that looks like holistically. Notre Dame as a first-class organization, a program, they do everything with a sense of excellence. And where we're going to be in 2023, we're going to be different. And it gives us a chance to play against a quality opponent in an awesome atmosphere. I know Derek had a chance to play at Notre Dame, playing at Michigan State, I believe. And playing against teams like that, the Irish, it gives you a national exposure. It has a chance. We have a chance to show the nation, our rich history, our resources, our vision for where we want to go. As a program and what we aspire to be. So it's really a win-win across the board, and the fact that it's a guarantee in terms of us getting our money out of it is also wonderful. Sure. It's going to help enhance the footprint of TSU athletics.
Yeah, DMA said it was actually used as a recruiting tool when he was, at Michigan State, like, hey, we're going to play Notre Dame. And so that's literally where I was going. You said it. It's going to be on NBC, so it's going to be a nationally televised game. How much can you use that moving forward as a recruiting tool?
Well, again, a lot of kids, they want to measure up to see where they measure up against Power 5 schools. Some of them feel slighted that, hey, I should be playing at Notre Dame or at Ohio State or Michigan State. Well, guess what? Here's your opportunity. And that's what I'm preaching. We're not going up there hat in hand. We're going up there to compete and to compete at a high level. And that's what I'm instilling in my guys. I mean, they put on their pants the same way we do. And when that time does come, we will be ready. But again, for guys that are in between, that are thinking about going to a Power 5 school, I'm saying, hey, you can come to Tennessee State and still accomplish everything that you want to accomplish, have a shot to go to the NFL, get a great education, and get coached properly by some of our guys on our coaching staff to get you prepared for the next level. So you're going to play big-time football here at the FCS level at the HBCU, because again, if you aspire to go to the league, they're going to find you. It doesn't matter. They're going to find the talent, and they're scouring the earth for that. So it just depends on the quality of life that you want to have, the football experience that you want to have, and that's what I'm trying to do is to enhance that. So from a recruiting aspect, especially for our transfers that are coming from Power 5 schools, I say, hey, this is an opportunity for you to show the world and the nation, the talent that you have and to put you on the map.
Did you have a relationship, or do you have a relationship with Marcus Freeman before this press conference?
I've known Marcus for quite some time through Jim Tressel. I didn't play for Tress, but the Ohio State Buckeye Network, especially for us athletes, we're very tight. No matter who you played under, when you put that uniform on, it's like blood. We were blood brothers. So I think the mutual respect was there. We never discussed this opportunity prior to this happening. That was more or less with the ADs. But they were looking for an opportunity to play an HBCU school, and it was only fitting that they chose us to do that. They really wanted to make that happen. I think the storylines are great. And again, it brings a light to the rich history that TSU football already has. 122 NFL athletes have come through here. A couple of Hall of Famers, and Claude Humphreys and Richard Dent. A first-round overall pick in Ed Too Tall Jones, and a ton of great coaches that have coached there. So our rich tradition will be noticed nationwide, and people will come to know that, hey, Tennessee State, this is a school of excellence. They're not foreign, or they don't know about not having great teams. They've had 13 national championship teams. So it's been a wonderful opportunity, and we're looking forward to playing up there for sure.
We'll talk with Eddie George, Tennessee State University's head football coach. Now, Eddie, there are a lot of things going on there at TSU, your program. I saw, you guys get a new weight room and everything else. So what other projects are going on in regards to the football team?
Yeah, thanks, Derek. We just got a new locker room as well, temporary locker room in the Gentry Center. Like you mentioned, we got a new weight room here. We're getting a new turf laid down in the indoor, and that's going to look vastly different than it has before. It's going to be updated. We're exploring the possibilities of moving our games full-time to the Hole, looking at what that looks like. We have our first game here against Lane College, which will be the John Merritt Classic. Here we'll be in the Hole. We're looking at getting the turf changed to turf. We're taking it from grass to turf. So we're looking to do a lot of different projects here. We want to try to get a football operations building done here in the near future as well, right on campus. So it really centralizes our operations. So it's a slow pull, but it's in the amount of time that we've been here, we've been able to do a lot. The next 10 days, really Monday, will mark the first full year that I've been here. And with the diligence and the resilience of our staff and Mickey Allen getting things done, and, of course, Glenda Glover signing off on all of the things that we're trying to do, is happening at a good pace. So we're right where we want to be in terms of right now, but we have a long way to go.
Now, I mean, you've hired coaches, and you've lost a few coaches.
Yeah.
How has that been for you? I know because you just finished up your first year, or you're finishing up. It'll be your first full year Monday. So you were a part of the hiring, but you never experienced, hey, I'm losing the coach and I got to hire again. So how has that been?
Right. Just when you think the water settles there after the season, you get a chance to breathe, and you're like, okay, I got to. Coaches leave, and you got to go on the whole deal where you're interviewing people, and that was a great learning experience for me. Hiring my first staff was awesome. Hugh was an excellent coach for us to get us going, and Hugh, I felt like that was only a matter of time because he had aspirations of getting a head job somewhere, whether that was back in the NFL or now at HBCU at Grambling State. But it allows me to get better. Now that I know coaches now, I know what I want to see. I know what I'm looking for. Last year, Derek, it was all about understanding. I didn't do a whole lot of talking. I just observed. I learned. I took a lot of notes. I've asked questions. And it was really for me to see, okay, what do I want? Of course, I want to be able to have a balanced offense, but what does that really look like in today's football? I did a lot of interviews, and I felt good about finding the right teachers. The right men of character, how they relate to our players. Not just guys that can get the job done X and O wise, but who can help move the lifestyle and the culture to where I need it to be. And that took that was a great process for me to go down. I must have interviewed 1,000 different coaches because I lost Hugh, and I lost the O-line coach. Then I got T-Bone with my tight ends coach, getting a great opportunity to go play coach at Buffalo with the Buffalo Bills. So those are all great things, but, Jeff Fisher always told me, said, hey, when you lose a coach, that's a good thing because it allows you to get better, and I think we have done just that.
Now, I'm sure the recruiting process is much different from when you and I got recruited, but how much different is it? Because you see and you hear certain things about recruiting, and you think, like, man, I didn't have to go through that when I was being recruited.
Well, D, it's like I have yet to go in anybody's living room, like physically go in somebody's living room and recruit their child because it's changed because of COVID. Now it's going on Twitter, it's Instagram, it's the digital age, it's looking at highlights and all that, which is very dangerous because you can get enamored with a guy's athletic ability off of his highlights. There's a highlight for a reason. He's showing all of his good plays. Okay. You've got to really do your homework and due diligence and watch a full game on a player to see how he responds in between those two plays. How does he respond when he gets smacked in the mouth or the quarterback throws an interception? What's the body language like? What are the next 3 or 4 plays after that? That's how you're going to find out the culture and the character of the player by watching full games. So I'm more of old school where I want to see full game tape, not the huddles, not the long runs, not the pretty catches, but when you struggled, because that's going to tell me a lot about who they are. So that's been the eye-opening deal for me, is that everything is at the tip of your hands now, and it's so instant. And, I can get to a player like, if I say, okay, I see a guy that I like, a quarterback out of California, I can get to him in an instant. Whereas before it took us, a fax, an email, calling card to get in touch with a player, and letters. We were big on the letters back in the day, so that doesn't exist anymore. That's been the biggest difference.
Okay. Well, I'm going to leave you with this. I want to ask you this last question because I saw Jerome Bettis, a former Irish, a former Detroit native, as I am. I watched Bettis in high school and in college. How fun was that for him to ask you questions?
Well, I tell you, Jerome has, as you know, Derek, has been a great friend of mine. You know, he's with the Lamont Smith and our agent for so many years. And I met Jerome in '96 when I came out, and he's been like a brother to me. And I'm pretty sure he had something to do with this thing happening. He knew I was coaching here. He's actually taking classes. He's going to graduate in May. May 14th, actually, went back and got his degree. So he's on campus at Notre Dame. So I called him, told him to come by, and that was a lot of fun. And he's been nothing but supportive of this, giving me advice, telling me just the ins and outs of the business in terms of what to look for, just his experience, anything he can give me. But to have him in that room was wonderful. So he's always a breath of fresh air with that smile and that laugh comes in when he comes in the room. So he's been great.
So last thing you said, if you're good enough, they'll find you. So you got it. This is your chance. You got any guys you want to promote that NFL teams need to be looking at hard and heavy at the end of this month?
At the end of this month? Well, yeah, we have quite a few kids. Jeremy Hickbottom, our quarterback, I was second team all OVC, had his pro day here. I thought he did an outstanding job, really ran well. Corey Rahman, who was our safety, really did a great job. I think he has getting an opportunity to work out for the Titans. He's a safety. When I think of him as an Eric Weddle type. High football IQ, ran a 4.5 40, jumped to 37.5 inch vertical. You look at his tape; it speaks for itself because he's always around the ball. Heady guy, knows the game inside and out. Eddie Graham, a cornerback as well. Rodell Rahman was a tight end that played at Bowling Green. Kind of undersized at tight end, but was one of our best players for us. He played a tight end, but also could have played the X position because of his explosiveness and playmaking ability. So those are some of the guys that we have coming out, and also our left tackle, Cam Durley, who is coming off of a knee injury, but he looks the part. Long, lean, left tackle. So those are the guys that I'm hoping will get an opportunity to make a camp this year.
Love it. Love it. Good stuff as always. Hey, thanks for coming on and doing this. It's going to be really cool experience for your guys. I know you played against Notre Dame. I think you ran for over 200 yards against Notre Dame, did you not?
It was 206.
But
you remember those yards.
Who's counting, right? Oh, wait a minute. Eddie's counting. Eddie, thanks so much for doing this. Keep up the good work.
All right, guys. Hey, be blessed. Derek, take care, man.
All right, you too.
Yep. All right, bro.
That is TSU football coach Eddie George, Titans legend right there. We'll come back. A lot to digest after that. I thought there was really interesting stuff in there. Plus, we're going to get into a topic this hour that's really going to get your attention on something really we were talking about at the end of the hour, and I think the Titans need to be really, really considering this. We'll do that next year on ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Inside knowledge on the Titans.
Todd Downing's got his notepad out right now, just writing things down.
Inside knowledge on the Predators.
They can go right into the forecheck, and boom, you get a beautiful goal from Colton Sissons.
And then there's a team in Knoxville.
How excited should Tennessee fans be by what they've seen from Josh Heupel in year one?
Wake up and hang out with Robbie and Rexroad. Weekday mornings from 6 to 10. Brought to you by Little Guys Movers on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and The Game Nashville app. Watch live on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube.
Golf's first major is a tradition unlike any other. You know what I'm talking about. Now you can bet on who you think will go home with the green jacket on FanDuel Sportsbook. Joe Rexroad here to let you know new customers can get 30-1 odds on 2015 champ Jordan Spieth, four-time major winner Rory McIlroy, or 2020 champ Dustin Johnson to make the cut at Augusta. That's right. Any of those players make the cut, you win big. Of course, there's a lot of talk about Tiger Woods this week as well. As far as those three guys, I mean, I'd probably feel best about Dustin Johnson. All of them are obviously great players in their own right. See for yourself why FanDuel's America's #1 sportsbook. Take a swing at this, betting the first major. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app using promo code Joe102. Get 30-1 odds on Spieth, McIlroy, or Johnson to make the cut at Augusta. That's a great deal, and that's promo code again, Joe102. FanDuel Sportsbook is an official betting operator of the PGA Tour. You must be 21 or older and present in Tennessee. New users only must wager in designated offer market. Max bet $5. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call the Tennessee Red Line, 800-889-9789.
Hi guys, are you struggling with erectile dysfunction and sick of the pills? Well, today, Thursday, April 7th, we're doing something special. Hillside Medical Clinic uses the most powerful form of wave therapy, shown by Cambridge to repair blood vessels and get rid of ED at its core. If you're ready to put a stop to your ED, call us now, and not only will the assessment and ultrasound be free, we'll also include something unique that produces immediate results in the bedroom. You're going to love that. And today only, we're offering 3 additional treatments to our patients free. This means that if you notice results fading, we'll retreat you free of charge. This is unprecedented and worth hundreds of dollars. Call today, Thursday, April 7th, and qualify free. 615-576-5000. That's 615-576-5000. Put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and get your love life back. Call Hillside Medical Clinic now to qualify. This offer ends today. 615-576-5000.
When it's more than just your lawn, it deserves the Kubota Z400. Get a head-turning offer on class-leading speed, agility, simple deck height adjustments, and a quality cut. When you need comfort and performance, then you need the professional-grade Kubota Z400. Right now, get the Kubota Z400 mower for 0 down, 0% APR for 36 months, or save $300. Now through June 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Come see why Coleman Tractor Company is one of the largest Kubota dealers in Middle Tennessee, with 4 locations to serve you in Paris, Clarksville, Nashville, and their new location in White House.
Now through April 14th, join a clean and spacious Planet Fitness for $1 down and only $10 a month. With tons of equipment and free fitness training, it's the perfect place for everybody to work out.
Even me, Mr. I can't sleep at night, so I keep dozing off during the day.
Especially you, Snoozy. You'll rest easier and feel fit-tacular.
Wait, how did you get in here?
Join in club or at planetfitness.com. $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime. Hurry, deal ends April 14th. See club for details.
ESPN 1025 The Game and Smokeville Smoke Shop want to send you to an upcoming Nashville Predators home game. All you have to do is come into Smokeville Smoke Shop at 699 West Main Street in Hendersonville Wednesday, April 20th for their 420 blowout event and visit the game table to enter. While you're at it, be sure to stick around and take advantage of Smokeville Smoke Shop's store-wide discounts, free dab bar, as well as on-site food and dessert trucks and live music. Visit Smokeville Smoke Shop on Instagram for more.
Hey, this is Matt Duchesne, and this is Smashville.
Running down the left side with Duchesne. Duchesne scores! Matt Duchesne with the overtime winner.
You're listening to the flagship of the Nashville Predators radio network, ESPN 1025 The Game.
Interact with Darren, Daunic, and Chase. Call or text the show at 615-737-1025. Driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com.
Where we're going to be in 2023, we're going to be different. And it gives us a chance to play against a quality opponent in an awesome atmosphere. I know Derek had a chance to play at Notre Dame, playing at Michigan State, I believe, and playing against teams like that, the Irish. It gives you a national exposure. It has a chance. We have a chance to show the nation, our rich history, our resources, our vision for where we want to go. As a program and what we aspire to be. So it's really a win-win across the board, and the fact that it's a guarantee in terms of us getting our money out of it is also wonderful. Sure. It's going to help enhance the footprint of TSU Athletics.
Eddie George, Tigers take on the Irish. September 2nd, 2023. Pretty cool. Never been to a game there. If you haven't, maybe this is your opportunity to do that. I'm serious. I'm thinking about making the trek up for that.
I'm sure that would be fun. A lot of TSU alums, faculty, and everyone else will make the trip up north.
Maybe I'll just see if I can maybe make a band outfit and just try to slide in with the band.
Blend right in.
Sure
if you still got a bum knee, I don't think you'll be able to do it.
That's a good point. That's a really good point.
So you got about 2 years to get that knee right. Well, a year to get that knee right.
So you don't think I could just slide in
there?
Nah.
Because you would have to carry a huge instrument.
Yeah. That'd be a problem.
Yeah, that'd be a problem. And if they see you limping,
that'd be a problem.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, if you stick me at the tuba,
But then you
I'm
have to
in
dye
trouble.
your hair because they're like, what is this? Who is this guy with the gray hair?
He has eligibility? What? Really?
He's a 20-year senior.
It's a great opportunity for TSU. Look, he was humble in his comments on that, but I mean, I think actually he did say, Jerome Bettis help. Eddie played a part in this. Okay, I'm sorry. I love,
and I don't think he will ever admit.
I know,
admit
and
that,
I get it, but if Eddie George isn't the coach, not sure this happens.
I think they play Jackson State instead of TSU.
I'm just saying, yeah, I think it played a big part in it. It did, but that's why they hired him.
Exactly.
That's part of that's part of the reason they hired him, for exposure. I mean, TSU is. People are talking about TSU. It's been a great splash move. Actually, if I'm just being totally honest, I thought the first year looked better than
it did.
Than I thought it would. If I'm just being totally honest, I didn't know how it was going to play out. I would have said, he'll probably struggle. They'll probably look, he's got to figure all this out. He's never been a head coach. Just getting thrust into this situation. It looked a lot better than I thought it would.
Yeah.
Which is a credit to him and his staff. And now he's got to replace a lot of his staff. But, I understand others had to make this happen. But Eddie George isn't the head coach.
The likelihood of it happening goes down.
The likelihood probably goes way down. And the good news is he barely remembered the game against Notre Dame when he was
not really.
at Ohio State.
He couldn't
you had
tell
over
you
200 yards, right? Yeah, 206.
I'm sure he couldn't tell you the weather.
No.
Couldn't tell you the score.
No.
Nothing.
Probably barely remembers that. It's fuzzy. It's a long time ago.
It's a lot of haze.
Eddie,
there.
you had over 200 yards. Yeah, 206.
To be exact.
To be exact. Oh. Okay.
Hey, we remember the big games.
All right.
Yeah.
Give you your props. But this is a great opportunity for them. And I don't know. Maybe we should do a show there. Maybe on that Friday. That'd be cool.
It would be. Really cool. And the program from the outside looking in, it's getting better. The locker rooms, the weight room.
And it had to.
It had to. And
that's
I really
another
like,
reason you have Eddie George as your coach. You
I
can make
really
that stuff happen.
like that he said, listen, we're trying to get our home games permanently played on campus. That means a lot.
Yep.
You redo that whole field, redo the stands, and get the student body and the alum and everybody to come back to that stadium.
Well, it's cool to play in an NFL stadium, but rarely do you get the atmosphere you're truly looking for, right?
Because it's too big, it's too
vast.
spread out.
It's too big. Yeah.
And 5,000 or 10,000 at Nissan looks different than on TSU campus. It looks like a mega game on TSU's campus, And there's something about these young men walking into their own, stadium and seeing their fans and feeling that energy because it's not a 60,000+ stadium, venue. You coming in and you're seating 15 to 20,000 and every seat is pretty much taken up.
Even with and it doesn't mean you can't, for their biggest game of the year, a Heritage Classic or whatever, it doesn't mean that you can't do a one-off at the new, beautiful, enclosed, possibly retractable roof stadium of the Titans. But still, overall, you want to have a home stadium where you have your atmosphere. And it's hard to create that in an NFL stadium. Most weeks, if not all the weeks. You're right? Like I said, the one-off is fine. But it's going to be really difficult to do that. They've been doing it for entire seasons, and I just think it's best that they do have their own, that they can create their own atmosphere.
Well, it helps, I do believe, if indeed, which it seems like they're moving toward that, they can get that home field advantage, that stadium that when you walk in, you're at Tiger Stadium. and I'm not talking about Auburn, but
or LSU.
Yeah, LSU. But
or Clemson.
It can help in recruiting.
Or Missouri.
A bunch of Tigers out there.
Keep doing this. There's a lot of Tiger schools. A lot of Tiger schools.
Tiger. But it does help in recruiting as well, I believe. You will play in front of your student body, your alumni. I think that helps.
We're going to tell you who the Titans should be targeting. Not in the draft, but out there on the market. You're going to tell us whether you agree or disagree. But we've got a big name that John Robinson should absolutely be thinking about and being serious about bringing in. We'll tell you who we're talking about next here on ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Do you have that one person or thing that just makes you mad? Join us every Friday at noon on the DDC for You Just Made the List. Fueled by Parman Energy. Visit ParmanEnergy.com, your one-stop petroleum solution, and try Star Movie on the DDC on ESPN 102.5 The Game.
You just made the list!
Finding the right person for the job isn't easy. Just ask someone who hired a lounge singer to be their office receptionist.
Hello, this is Mickey Marquis, and you've reached the office of Doug & Associates. Thank you very much. Catch me Tuesday nights at the Hotel Johnson. Hello?
But if you've got an insurance question, you can always count on your local Geico agent. They can bundle your policies, which could save you hundreds.
Doug & Associates, this is Mickey Marquis. Hello?
For expert help with all your insurance needs, visit geico.com/local today.
And now it's Geico's Motorcycle Rules of the Road. Avoid biking in the rain and never touch another person's bike.
Hey guys, look at these bikes. So shiny. Whoops. I'm gonna leave a note. Oh gosh, there's more.
And the rule to saving on motorcycle insurance is, in 15 minutes, Geico could save you 15% or more.
How can a half-carat diamond magically grow into a 2-carat diamond? With Genesis Diamond's 110% diamond upgrade guarantee.
Our trade-up policy is the best in the United States.
That's Stasia at Genesis, explaining how if you buy a diamond today and want to trade it in for a bigger one next year, Genesis always gives you back your original purchase price plus an extra 10%.
We will gladly give you every single penny you paid for the diamond plus an extra 10%, which is amazing. No one does that.
As a real-life example, take Stasia's customer Paul.
When he first started, he got a half-carat, and then as he became more successful, we rewarded him. He came in and he got a 3/4 carat, and then he's traded for a carat. I'm sure I'll see him this year for a carat and a half. As they grow and change and become more successful, their engagement ring can grow with them also.
And there's no catch, no minimum trade-up requirement, and it works on diamond studs and diamond pendants as well.
You get every single investment dollar you put into the diamond, you will get an extra 10% towards the new diamond.
Genesis Diamonds and luxury pre-owned Rolexes.
You can trade as many times as you wish.
Continuously voted best jewelry store and best place to buy an engagement ring. Green Hills and Cool Springs.
Finishing jobs on time, never being idle, and powerful equipment. Meade has the John Deere excavating equipment and the smart grade technology solutions for you and your business. Power your business with a new, used, or rented excavator and get the performance you expect and service you can rely on. Call us today for the equipment built as tough and reliable as you, or visit us at meadtractor.com. That's meadtractor.com.
ESPN's Turon Davenport breaks down the Titans like no other.
On the field chemistry, I don't think it's going to be a problem. It's just going to be a process.
Catch TD Mondays at 11, Thursdays at 3, and Fridays at 8. Plus, the Talking with TD podcast drops every Wednesday.
When you draft players, it's not just for one season, it's for a career.
Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Hey, this is Philip Forsberg. You're listening to Nashville's best sports talk, ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Join us at ESPN 102.5 The Game for the Music City Celebrity Golf Tournament. That's benefiting the Folds of Honor. That'll be May 16th at Hermitage Golf Course. Great place to play. Put your team together. Come play with athletes, musicians, and other local celebrities. Sign up at thegamenashville.com/golf. Back here on the DDC. Darren McFarland, Derek Mason with you. Elijah Campbell manning the board. We're all here at the Hillside Medical Game Studios on this gorgeous Thursday. Doesn't look like any rain today, but I guess cold temps are coming in behind, so we may have a little bit colder day today, tomorrow, Saturday.
Darn it.
It's supposed to warm up. Here is a guy that we agree on, Derek, that John Robinson 100% should be thinking about bringing in at some point when he's available.
And I think I brought this up before, too.
He's available. Now, this is, just give you a hint, this is going off of our conversation in the first hour. Okay? And we have brought this up before, but this needs to be serious consideration because now that, like I said, I think just trying to read the room, the rest of the league's giving the Browns a side stare.
Yep.
They're giving them a side stare for the Watson deal. So nobody's going to help them out. No one is going to give them anything for Baker Mayfield. They're like, you know what, you're stuck. Go on and cut him, eat the dead money, and then we'll conduct business. We both agree when that day happens, whether it's before the draft, after the draft, June, July, whatever, before camp. I don't know when it's going to happen. They're not carrying Baker Mayfield and Deshaun Watson on their roster next year. True?
No, they're not doing it. I can't see them.
I can't either, but it is the Browns. So
yeah, they might.
Everything is in play when it's the Browns. But if they don't, and we suspect they don't, should John Robinson be looking at Baker Mayfield as a backup here?
Absolutely.
The answer is
yes.
The answer is absolutely yes. 100% yes. Now tell them why.
To me, it's a no-brainer. And I don't want to hear, Whiteside is on the roster. Is that his name?
Or Woodside.
Yeah, Woodside,
Yeah,
not
whatever.
Whiteside. Woodside is on the roster.
That's his neighbor.
Yeah. The guy to the left. Woodside is on the roster. I don't want to hear that because Woodside would never play. He will never play unless something happens to Ryan. Other than that, he will never get underneath center again unless something happens to Ryan or they're blowing someone out 59-7. Other than that, he will never get underneath center. My thing is, if you and I brought this up before, I think it does one thing. I think it does two things. It does many, but I'm just going to say two things. One, if you go out and you get Baker once he's released, one, you don't have to pay him the money. So you're going to get him cheap because he wants to be on the team. He wants to eventually be a starting quarterback again. So you can get him for the cheap. And I've always said this, especially when it comes to quarterbacks. If you're still kind of on your quarterback, go get him some competition, and you'll find out if you got the quarterback or not. You'll truly find out if you got that guy or not.
They haven't been that way publicly, but do you believe privately they're in the boat? Like I said, publicly they are not. They're still all in. But privately, are they?
I think they are. I think they believe he's a good quarterback, but can he get us ultimately where we want to go? So if that is indeed the feeling, because that was the feeling 3 years ago, right? 3.5 years ago, when they were like, Mariota, well, let's just go get Ryan.
No, actually, they were doing the same thing publicly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Marcus is our guy.
Yeah.
Marcus
but they went out and got Ryan. Well, Ryan's just going to be his backup.
Yep.
He's the backup.
Mm-hmm.
This is Mariota's job. He's the backup. Then what happened? Mariota didn't react the way they thought he would when competition came in. They thought he would get better.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't.
The push worked against him.
Exactly. And what did they do? They pulled that cord and said, Ryan, you the man. And Ryan thrived that year.
Well, that Denver game basically sealed his fate.
Sealed it for him, yeah. Ryan was the guy after that. The same situation repeats itself again.
Mm-hmm.
They're saying all the right things
publicly,
and they should, and they absolutely should. When you're paying somebody almost $40 million, you need to be saying that.
Mm-hmm.
But I still think there's a man. Goodness, is he? Yeah, he's gonna win us games, but can he win us a championship? Well, I guarantee you this: if you bring in Baker Mayfield, you're going to see whether he is the guy or not very quickly, Because if he steps up and face the challenge the way he should as a quarterback, he's going to be lights out. You will make it to the Super Bowl. Whether you win it or not, different story. But you will make it to the Super Bowl. If everybody stays healthy, you will make it to the Super Bowl. It's just the way it is, I believe. Because he would, I'm hoping he would look at that situation and say, oh, they want to replace me? All right. I'm going to accept this challenge.
Pull Alex Smith.
Exactly. I'm going to accept this challenge, and this is going to be the best season I've ever had. Or if he doesn't, you know what you can do? Throw Baker Mayfield in there, which you're probably paying a couple of million dollars to. Throw Baker in there. And Baker is a good quarterback, a really good quarterback. I think he is. Does he need a change of venue? Yes, he does. He comes here with that culture that they have. I think he fits right in, doesn't say anything. He will essentially do what Ryan did when he got here. He would just fall in line, do everything he's supposed to, and when he get his opportunity, he approved to not only the Titans, but the rest of the league. He still is a starting quarterback in the NFL. And I think he would do well. I don't think you pass on a guy that's only been in the NFL 4 years, that has a huge upside. You're talking about talent. He has a huge upside in regard to talent.
Number 1 pick overall?
Yeah. He can throw just about every ball you want him to throw. He's mobile. He can get outside the pocket. He can do just about anything. You bring him here, you don't have to pay him anything. And he gets to sit. If Ryan does great. He sits there as an insurance policy. But if Ryan doesn't, you don't have to. If Baker's not here, Ryan's not doing well, you're still not going to Woodside or Whiteside. Neither one of them. Yeah. But if Baker's here and Ryan's not doing well, you're more inclined to do what? Okay, well, we gave Ryan 3.5 years. Baker's your turn.
What about Blindside?
No,
Would you ever consider him?
You had him here for a while. It didn't work out the way anyone expected it to, you know?
You want to see if Ryan Tannehill, with someone behind him pushing, can duplicate 2020, right? That's what you want.
Yeah.
What, 33 touchdowns, 7 picks, almost 4,000 yards passing.
Uh-huh.
That's what you're looking for, right?
Yes. That Ryan, with this team, can make it to the Super Bowl.
2020 Ryan?
Yes.
They
with
lost
this
in the
team,
first round.
yeah. Because you got to understand, the 2020 Ryan, the defense wasn't as good.
Okay. Defense was awful.
Yes.
Historically bad.
Absolutely. You get a 2020 Ryan this year with that defense and more pieces around him, oh, you're going to make it to the Super Bowl. You should at least make it to the Super Bowl. But if you go get Baker, it pushes him closer to that 2020 Ryan than not. I believe anyway.
I love the pitch. I only have one question for the pitch on the other side. By the way, Ben from McMewen said on our text line from that's driven by WilsonCountyHunting.com, he believes Eddie would let me be a water boy for a game.
I think he would be. I
so
think he
there
would.
You go, free admission. I'd be the water boy.
Yeah. I
can, but I can't.
Your knees.
I know, but I can't. Do I have to carry?
Yeah. If you're the water boy, you got to take the Gatorade thing out there when they need it in timeouts.
Well, that's just like the squeezable thing. I'm talking about the whole bucket, like the.
Yeah, you got to carry the bucket along with someone else.
We got to get a tray, something with wheels. Put it on a tray with wheels.
No.
Roll it out there.
No.
Okay.
No. They're not giving you that.
So I only have one concern. That's it. And I'll tell you what it is on the other side. But right now I'm going to talk to you about my friends at Cool Springs MD. You know, I've been talking about them for years, and they've been helping me for years for the good, and they can help you. And I know they have already helped a lot of you out there because you've told me, and you've told them. Maybe you've tacked on some unwanted pounds that you would love to shed. Well, weight loss management is important to them, and they've got programs and products and people that could get you back on track and headed in the right direction. Rejuvenation, your appearance is important, and boy, does it get challenging as we get older. Well, their experienced staff can discuss PRP, hair removal, Botox, and finally hormone therapy. Maybe you need to get your levels checked. Maybe you haven't ever done that, and you realize that they tend to dip as you get older? Sometimes they can dip to all-time low levels, which could affect your drive, your energy, how you feel, your mood. They can discuss BHRT, testosterone, estrogen. These are some of the things they do under one roof. It's a state-of-the-art facility there in Cool Springs at 1642 Westgate Circle. If you want to learn everything about them, just go to their website, coolspringsmd.com, or you can always pick up the phone and schedule an appointment or consultation by dialing this number, 615-283-7291. That's 283-7291.
From the Fox 17 News Code Red Weather Center.
I'm Fox 17 News Code Red meteorologist Dan Guthrie. Partly cloudy skies for us today with highs in the upper 50s and lower 60s. We get cooler for the rest of the week.
This weather report brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Music City. Start a profitable new chapter of your life and be your own boss with your very own Little Guys Movers franchise. In fact, no matter where you are, from Green Hills to the Gulch to down in Franklin, if you can hear my voice, there's an affordable, profitable Little Guys franchise opportunity nearby. Use your existing 401k to invest in yourself. Financing options are available. Join a team with 30 plus years of growth and good times. Learn more at littleguysfranchise.com. That's littleguysfranchise.com. And then make that call.
Signs First is the official sign company for 102.5 The Game. Go to sfnash.com.
Cutting the price of your wireless bill feels good. Really good. Actually, it feels great. You should try it out. So cut your bill by switching to Straight Talk Wireless. Now offering our $45 Silver Unlimited plan with 5 gigabytes of hotspot and nationwide 5G on America's largest, most dependable networks. The $45 Silver Unlimited plan from Straight Talk. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
A month equals 30 days. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Let's be real. Mopping is a hassle. You have to fill the bucket, pushing a wet, heavy mop around, then cleaning the mop when you're done so it doesn't grow bacteria. A hassle on top of a hassle. Try Swiffer WetJet. With Swiffer WetJet, you start with a fresh pad and cleaning solution every time. And when you're done, you just toss the pad. Swiffer WetJet, the faster, easier, cleaner way to clean your floors.
At Lowe's, every pro is an MVP to us, no matter how big or small your business is. Earn back when you spend, get exclusive offers, and paint rewards. It all adds up to help level up your business. Join Lowe's MVP's Pro Rewards and Partnership Program today. Minimum purchase required. Earnings and paint rewards awarded as Lowe's e-gift cards. Exclusions, restrictions, and more terms apply. Valid through 12/31/22. See Lowe's.com/L/Pro Loyalty Terms. Subject to change. U.S. only.
A show that doesn't pull any punches.
And they win a playoff game and they get to the divisional round and he doesn't give up a sack the rest of the year. I don't give two poops. I'm done.
And has an opinion on everything.
That ref crew that was just terrible. Threw flags on almost every possession.
Jared Stillman hosts Stillman and Company.
Tough guy. He's a really tough guy.
Weekday afternoons from 2 to 6. Delivered by TriStar Moving on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app. If you've missed any of today's show, just search Darren, Daunic, and Chase on Apple, Spotify, or on your favorite podcast platform.
The voice of the Grizzlies, Eric Hasseltine, coming up at high noon. We'll talk about this Grizzlies team that they're about to start the playoffs in the NBA. We'll do that at high noon. Chase McCabe texted us during the break and said he would help me. He would teach me
how to be a
the
water
proper technique and how to be a water boy. He was a water boy.
Yeah, FRA. Yeah, he's right.
And I believe him.
But you think he probably could have lost some of the water boy skills, though? He's been out of it so long,
You're saying he's been out of the game too long?
Yeah, it's been out of the game too long, man.
He's a washed-up water boy?
Yeah, he's a has-been, man. Hey, Chase, you're a has-been water boy, man. Come on. What they used to do back then, they're not doing now.
I believe once a water boy, always a water boy. It's like, riding a bicycle. You can go 10 years, and then you just get back on a bike and you go. You remember.
I don't know, man. I've seen the movie The Water Boy, and it looks like the game has changed a lot since then.
The game has changed, man. And they're mixing these drinks a little bit different now.
I'm not asking to play. I don't want to play.
And you gotta be able to move. They might want you to wear cleats because, you get out there and slipping.
Really?
Yeah, you want to have good traction.
Okay.
You got to have your wristbands on.
They have natural grass at Notre Dame. If not, if it's
natural grass,
if it's artificial turf, then it might be bad for the ACL.
No, it's grass. Unless they've changed it. Last time I was running around on it, it was grass.
It's high grass, too.
Yeah. It was great until they yelled for us to get off of it.
I don't know, man. You might have to go on YouTube or something and look up some new and improved stuff. What's going on
Well, this
nowadays.
is just a text from Ben. I don't know if he's got an inside edge. I mean, he's claiming that that Eddie would let me do that. I don't know if Eddie would let me do that. I'd probably have to need a good word from you. You might even have to write a letter to Eddie.
But when Chase says, I can teach you some of the ins and outs, well, Chase, you've been out of the game too long.
Man, you've already put Chase out to pasture, the water boy pasture.
He's in the Water Boy Hall of Fame, but the game has changed.
Do you want to send him to the glue factory too? Are you trying to put down Chase?
Hey man, the water boy world has changed.
Okay,
it's not even called water boy. It's just the water person.
Water person.
Yeah, the water person.
He's a water man.
That I believe.
Yeah, it's just a water person
in
now.
2022, it is definitely just a water person.
Yeah, it's just a water person now, man. There you go.
All right, this is my only concern with your pitch, and I'm all for it. I think you're 100% spot on. I'm with you. It is the right thing to do, but I have one concern. My concern is you painted the picture that Baker Mayfield comes in just like Ryan Tannehill, and he just falls in line and like, hey, I'm just here to support and help and just do whatever I can, and whenever my day comes, I'll make the most of it, and until then, I'm just fine. And I don't know, but I don't know Baker behind the scenes. Like Ryan Tannehill, now that he's been here, like I believe that's exactly what he did, and they probably love that about him because, look, I don't want this to come off poorly. We used to play Ryan Tannehill when he speaks to the media every Wednesday. We used to play his press conferences, and quite honestly, after a while, there was nothing being said, nothing. And it was like, what's the point? Like, we're going to get nothing out of it. And I know that's, like I said, I'm not trying to, like, bang on him, but he doesn't say much. He just doesn't. And Marcus Mariota didn't either, okay? I don't know if Baker Mayfield's like that. I don't know if he just falls in line and he doesn't make any ripples. I don't know if he's a company guy. I don't know that. I mean, I suspect, maybe, possibly, kind of, but I don't know. And as you can tell from what I just said there, there's question marks behind those words. Because I don't think he's wired like Marcus Mariota and Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill is a company guy. I do that every time. Company guy. And people can't see this because it's radio. I'm just swinging that right arm. Company guy. And he falls in line. And I'm sure he was Mr. Company Guy behind the scenes, behind Mariota, right? Marcus, can I get you a water? I'm sure he did that. And I'm sure they loved that about him, right? There was nothing going on. You didn't have to worry about that. Are you positive you're getting that with Baker Mayfield? That's my only concern because I don't know. He's got a big personality.
Yeah.
Could we agree on that?
That he does. Here's what I'm banking on. Because there are only 32 NFL starting jobs, just like there are only 32 NFL head coaches. When you get that opportunity when you get that opportunity, you take advantage of it. When that opportunity is taken from you, and then you find out that the way you view yourself isn't the same as the way everyone else views you, because if everyone else viewed Baker the way he did, someone would have made the trade for him already. They would have jumped on it very quickly. Like, okay, we'll give you a 1, we'll give you a 2, we'll give you a 3. We need him. Come on.
No, but I already said I think the league's side steering the Cleveland. They're not going to give them anything because they're like, really? Deshaun Watson deal.
You're
really?
Right. You're absolutely right. But
and then they may be telling them, some of them may be telling them you're number 1.
But
Cleveland,
Baker
with a certain finger.
Yeah, you're right. I would if I was the owner.
Like I said, some organizations may be that mad.
Yeah, I understand that part. No, you're absolutely right. But when you're in a position like that, And then you feel when they were talking to Watson, you put out this Instagram post basically saying goodbye to Cleveland. Why? Because you thought there were going to be teams just clamoring to get you. Even then, there were not teams clamoring to get you. Then they go out and they acquire Deshaun Watson. Teams are still not clamoring to get you. Even the ones that already have their quarterback set, no one's clamoring to get you. No one is jumping on the phone. No one is trying to, run past another team to get you. Now you really understand and see how others view you around the league now. Other GMs or coaches.
Again, I think it's a false read because I'm not sure that.
But Baker doesn't know that.
But are you sure?
He doesn't know that.
You don't think his agent isn't maybe saying stuff to him like, dude, don't worry about it. They're mad at Cleveland right now. Uh-huh. They're mad at the organization because of what they gave Deshaun Watson, and they're taking it out on you.
But
because they're mad at them.
Teams would try to fleece Cleveland. When I mean fleece, they would say, well, we'll give you a 7th for him. We'll give you a 6th-round pick for him. Maybe a 5th. That's it. But we're not giving you anything above that. Maybe teams have called Cleveland, but Cleveland wants more. And teams are like, no, we're not giving you more. And some teams are probably not upset.
But is that a reflection on Baker or a reflection on their anger towards the organization?
I think some of it is a reflection on Baker. Like, listen, you are not – the way you view yourself and the way we view you are two different things.
I'll tell you why I think that's different. Like, Miami truly gave Ryan Tannehill away. They gave him away.
Mm-hmm.
They paid the Titans to take him away. Mm-hmm. It was like the movie Moneyball and David Justice. If you remember the scene, and Billy Beane was like, dude, like, just keep in mind.
But they didn't put the cart before the horse.
They paid us to take you. That's what they thought about you. They thought so highly of you, they paid us to take you off their hands. That's essentially what Miami did. They paid John Robinson and the Titans to take Ryan Tannehill off their hands. I don't think that's not the case.
But they didn't have their quarterback. They didn't have their franchise quarterback, Miami. So they were able to get rid of him just so they can then get their quarterback. Same thing with Indianapolis. They got rid of somebody, and then they went and got their quarterback. They didn't get their quarterback and then get rid of him because they knew that if we get our quarterback now and then try to get rid of Wentz, it's going to be a tougher task for us.
Here's an interesting point, and we're gonna continue this discussion a little bit later. We're going to have Eric Hasseltine here in just a moment. Andrew on our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHonda.com. I think Ryan Tannehill is the guy, but I'm all for getting Baker Mayfield. Could be a great long-term. How many top 10 quarterbacks drafted has Cleveland ruined? Good point. But he goes on to say, but then you guys have to promise not to read the 300 texts a day saying start Baker Mayfield in preseason. Now the part I don't know if the Titans are going to be that interested in. I don't know if they care about that, but that would be going on. And the first time he throws a pick, right? The first 10 he held. But this is the bed they've made. So are you going to run from that? Or are you going to try to push through and do what's best for the organization?
Whether they draft a quarterback,
it's going to happen no matter what.
Exactly.
My counter to that is it's going to happen no matter what. The fan base, the first pick is going to be – there's going to be groans like, oh, here we go again. Here we go. Great. Nothing's changed. That's going to happen no matter who the backup is.
But if you have Baker Mayfield, I guarantee you Tannehill will think twice about throwing that pass.
Okay, there you go. We'll continue this a little bit later. We're going to come back, though, and talk a little bit about this Grizzlies team that has taken the NBA by storm. We do that to start the third hour next.
Joe Rexrode.
I think they feel pretty good about things.
Robbie and Rexrode. Weekday mornings 6 to 10 on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game.
ElectronicExpress.com. We make it happen.
This segment of ESPN 102.5 The Game is brought to you by Train Heating and Cooling Systems. Tested, retested, engineered, and re-engineered to keep up with you. We run together. Visit traininfo.com to find your local independent Train dealer. Traininfo.com. It's hard to stop a train.
Now through April 14th, join a clean and spacious Planet Fitness for $1 down and only $10 a month. With tons of equipment and free fitness training, it's the perfect place for everybody to work out.
Even me, Mr. I can't sleep at night, so I keep dozing off during the day.
Especially you, Snoozy. You'll rest easier and feel fit-tacular.
Wait, how did you get in here?
Join in club or at planetfitness.com. $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime. Hurry, deal ends April 14th. See club for details.
Smokeville Smoke Shop has been serving Hendersonville and Metro Nashville since 2015 and is committed to providing high-quality, hands-on, and personable customer service. Stop into Smokeville Smoke Shops in Hendersonville, Gallatin, Hermitage, and Goodlettsville to try any of their wide selection of locally sourced products and selection of top nationwide brands, including vapes, hookah, hand-blown glass, detox systems, e-juices, kratom products, leaf wraps, and much more. Visit Smokeville Smoke Shops today.
Spring is in the air, and that means all kinds of fun in the sun is just around the corner. But if you're feeling low energy, if you've put on weight and just aren't getting the gains from your workouts, if you aren't sleeping well and your libido isn't what it used to be, maybe you aren't looking forward so much to sunny days and shirtless weather. This is Kim for the Tennessee Men's Clinic, and if this sounds like you, we might very well have the answer, because you may very well be suffering from low testosterone. And that, my friend, is something that can be effectively treated to get you back to the guy you used to be. The Tennessee Men's Clinic has treated thousands of men for low T. Our treatment programs are highly effective, with most men seeing results in just a few weeks. Assuming you're like most guys, you'll sleep better, have better workouts, have higher energy, and your sex life might just improve as well. So give us a call. Just $99 gets you a PSA and T test and a medical consult. Call 615-208-9090. That's 615-208-9090. Or go to TennesseeMen'sClinic.com. Visit our website to learn more, including side effects. Treatments extra. Results vary.
At Copper Branch, they live life to the fullest. Food is your energy and your life. Located in the heart of downtown Nashville, their goal is to serve you, your friends, and family quality, great-tasting, plant-based power foods. Visit Copper Branch at 601 Church Street for breakfast, lunch, and dinner with convenient and validated parking during library hours, and download their app for curbside pickup. Or come out for songwriter and live music nights several times throughout the week to empower, energize, and feel your best. Visit Copper Branch today.
Nothing makes one feel better than the ability to give to someone in need. You have the power to give the most important gift of all, the gift of life, with a donation of your blood. Supplies are desperately low in our area, and your help is needed. Blood Assurance is a nonprofit community blood center that supplies our Middle Tennessee area hospitals. Please find it in your heart to donate. Be someone's hero today. Go to bloodassurance.org to find a location or blood drive near you. That's bloodassurance.org. Give blood, give local, save lives with Blood Assurance.
From the Hillside Medical Game Studios, WPRT FM Pegram, WPUC HD2 Laverne, broadcasting 97.5 Murfreesboro, 106.3 Williamson County,
ESPN
102.5 The Game, and the Game Nashville app.
A Cromwell Media Station.
Live from the Game Nashville studios, it's time for Darren, Daunic, and Chase. With hosts Darren McFarland, Willie Daunic, and Chase McCabe. On Nashville's best sports talk,
ESPN
102.5 The Game.
Third hour DDC here on this Thursday afternoon. Beautiful day here in Music City. Darren McFarland, Derek Mason with you, voice of the Grizzlies. Eric Hasseltine now with us. Gosh, he's been the voice for damn near 2 decades. Eric, how long has it been? 17, 18 years?
Do you count pre-half and post-game or no?
Count whatever you want, man.
That's always the question. Now, I've been there 21. This is my 21st season. But in the big chair, I took over in 2005 in January and did half of that season. So, it's you blink an eye and your kids are graduating high school, going to college, and one's turning 10 and is almost as tall as you are. Thankfully, he didn't get that height gene from me. He got it from the other sides of my family and his mother's family. And then, you got a gray beard and the dancers look like they're children. So that's the fun way to look at it, I always say.
You just described...
How's the dance team? I'm like, they're kids. What do you mean, how are they? They're children.
You just described everything so well. So
I try.
Eric, we've had a lot of discussions over the years about Grizzlies teams that were good. Grizzlies teams that made long runs in the playoffs. We've had a lot of those conversations. Is this the best team they've ever had? What do you think? Hands down.
It's not even close. It's not even close. And it's not to disparage what the group that we called the Core Four with Mike Conley and Tony Allen and Marc Gasol and Zach Randolph did, and the 7-year success.
It's better than that 13-year?
Yeah, they went 7 straight. So we kind of look on that side. That's a remarkable run. There was a lot of people that tried to downplay that, but that is not something to downplay in this league. Obviously, just take a look in LA this year. Making the playoffs is not easy, especially in the Western Conference, and it's been that way for, almost my entire time here. And even before that, when I was in Sacramento and the Kings were bursting on the scene back then with Chris Webber and those guys, and the Lakers had Kobe and Shaq, and they were just great teams. There seems to always be just a gauntlet in the West to run through to get to the postseason. But the reason I say this group, because when you go 1 through 15, there's one team that could have rivaled this, I think, and that would have been the 2012, 2013 year where they went to the might have been 13-14 year where they went to the Western Conference Finals. That team was really good because when you watch the replays of those teams, their bench was able to come in and sustain leads. But if I start matching up player for player, this team would I think would win hands down. When you look at backup point guard, the best backup point guard we've ever had with this organization is Tyus Jones. I mean, an example of that is in his last 13 games, I think he had, or 12 games, he has 91 assists to 7 turnovers. It's 13-1. 13-1 turnover to assist ratio for a guy who started those games. That's insane, and he's going to break his own NBA record for that, which is a record nobody talks about. But it's a big deal for a point guard to be able to distribute the basketball and not give it to the other team. Then you start looking down the road, DeAnthony Melton, Brandon Clark in our second unit that just come in and give you 10, 12, 15 nightly. The bench scoring is just remarkable. And when you talk about the starters, as good as Mike Conley was, John Morant's a superstar. And as good as Mark Gasol was, Jaren Jackson rivals a lot of that, and with Steven Adams in there to basically be that high pick-and-roll guy that just rebounds and defends, and then you have a guy like Dylan Brooks who's a tenacious perimeter defender the way Tony Allen was, but is a much better scorer. You're looking around going, okay, you can go through this and say, all right, where's the difference? And then the difference becomes Desmond Bane. They haven't had a shooter like Desmond Bane on this roster since Mike Miller, and even then, Desmond Bane is just remarkable what he can do when he's on the perimeter. And he's not just a perimeter player. He drives to the basket. So for me, it's hands down that. I mean, the coaches to me are very comparable, but this is a very, very special team, and it's one that I think is just starting to scratch the surface of what they're capable of doing. You look in Phoenix and you look what they did last year and how they made their run and kind of broke through. And it helps to have a guy like Chris Paul. But you look at this group, they're the second or third youngest team in the league, and the owner has already come out and said, I'm keeping as many guys in this group as possible as I can. His finances have really blossomed over the last decade, and he's not afraid to spend the money to keep a winning product there. So I think we're in for a treat in the entire Mid-South with this group, possibly the core of it being together for 7, 8, 9, 10 years and really being thought of as championship contenders a lot of those seasons as long as everybody stays healthy and stays on the same path.
When Acuna went down, season ending, and I know this is not apples to apples comparison, I was like, well, that'll do it for the Braves. Right. Yeah, that'll do it. And they won the World Series, so much for that theory that I had. John Morant has been out for the lineup, and you just think, without John Morant, the Grizzlies are good, they're deep, everything you just described, there's no way they're going to look the same or better. How have they looked like they have without John Morant for this long?
As Steven Adams said, it's the system. And the notion that they're better without John Morant is just silly.
No, and I'm not suggesting that. I'm just saying, what's their record since he's been out of the lineup?
I think after last game, it's 20-3 now.
Right, 20-3, and they lost in overtime.
Yeah, I wouldn't moniker you with the people that I call pinheads that get on social media and just start typing away, the Grizzlies are better without John Morant and blah, blah, blah. And that's why he's not an MVP. Those people are idiots and just don't have any clue. What it is a deep roster, as we talked about, and a system that really is hard to stop. I've watched this team night in, night out, literally break team spirits. I mean, Derek, I'm sure you've seen it. Darren, you've seen it. Willie, you guys have seen it. When you watch a team try to come back, let's say the Grizzlies have an 8-point lead and they fight and they scratch in the next 3 minutes, all of a sudden they're within 2. And 2 minutes later they look up and they're down 12 and they're literally looking around going, what the hell just happened? What happens is this team is relentless on both ends of the floor. If you score on them, they're going to take it out of the net and they're going to run it right back at you. If you throw lazy passes on the perimeter, they're going to take them. They're number one in the NBA in steals. They're number one in fast break points. They're number one in points in the paint. They're number one in block shots. Their three-point shooting, when it's on, they're just virtually unstoppable. And they lead the NBA in fast break points, and the NBA, per that stat, does not count if they take it out of the net on a make. That's not a fast break basket because the other team scored. Yet they get 4 or 5 of those baskets a night. And you just watch, and you watch these other teams turn around, and they feel good that they just made a basket. They're making a run. They turn around, and their guy's running right by them and burying a three-point shot. And they're just going, what just happened? And that happens pretty regularly with this group. Steven Adams, in a media conference, somebody asked him a similar thing. He said, it's the system. It's the coaching. It's the belief that the next man up can fill the void. It's the development. Like the difference between their first-round pick this year, which they acquired on in the Steven Adams trade, Zaire Williams, where he was in November and where he is now is night and day. The player development with this group of coaches is remarkable. They deserve a ton of credit. It's why, to me, I laugh when I watch ESPN last night. And, I don't doubt that Monty Williams should be touted as Coach of the Year. He absolutely should be. I don't doubt that Tyronn Lue with the Clippers, with the job he's done, with the injuries they've had, should be touted. But it should be a hands-down one-horse race, and that's Taylor Jenkins. Nobody had the Grizzlies winning more than 38 games. They've won 55. They're the second-best record in the league. They've won 20 games out of 23 without their star player. And everybody expected Phoenix and the Clippers to be good, and they are. But no one expected the Grizzlies to be this. And a lot of it has to do with this system, these coaches, and the message they've gotten across. When your players in interviews sound like the coaching staff, the message has been accepted and received, and it's clear.
We'll talk with Eric Hasseltine, voice of the Memphis Grizzlies. They find themselves, I think, second or third in the Western Conference as we speak right now. Second in the Western Conference as we speak right now. You just mentioned their ages, and I looked this up. It had to be a couple of weeks ago. Not only do they have the youngest squad, but they have the youngest head coach and the youngest GM. Everyone's in their 30s. Do you think the byproduct of that is winning because everyone relates to one another?
I think it's part of it. I noticed it with Coach Jenkins when he took over and came out. And usually first-time head coaches that have been assistants will coach that first summer league. Now, obviously after the pandemic, there wasn't a summer league in 2020, and then there was a tighter summer league in 2021. But that 2019 summer league, I was there, and I was watching the way he related to the players and, again, listening to their answers. And I'm like, okay, this guy may be on to something. And I tell this story, and I'll tell it briefly because radio guys, as you know, can go forever. We were in Las Vegas and had a sponsored dinner, and they wanted to introduce the coach to some of the main, sponsors of the team and businesses. And he came over to me and he says, "Hey, I know you've been here since day one. Can we sit down and talk once I kind of make the rounds?" I said, "Of course, I'm right here." And he literally looked at me and said, "What do I need to know? What do I need to know about Memphis? What's going to help me, relate to not just the players but everybody else?" And I went, "Whoa, that's not something that you normally see." And I said, "Coach, I'm happy to tell you." I said, X, Y, Z. I said, the main thing is, and John Calipari said, if you hug Memphis as a city, it'll hug you back. So embrace it. And he understood. And so you look at him 3 years later, and I laugh because, as you said, he's the youngest coach in the league. We have the same birthday, actually. And I remember this year they said, "Hey, happy 37th birthday to Grizzlies head coach Taylor Jenkins." And I shook my head. And someone said, "What?" And I said, "I know it. I knew it now. I'm old." They said, "Why?" I said, "I'm 12 years older than my head coach. I used to be like 30 years younger than these guys." It's just a different feeling. But you don't look at him that way. He doesn't come across as a 37-year-old young head coach. He talks like he's been through battles and through everything, and he's just that intelligent. Zach Kleiman's the same way. And I think what they understand is that none of them in the front office or in the coaching staff have all of the answers. And I think that comes from being in the Greg Popovich system. People might think that Greg Popovich from far is just this dictator and it's my way and there's no other way we're going to do it. Greg Popovich wants to be challenged in his coaches' meetings. He wants to be challenged with his roster. He wants people to sit back and say, maybe if we tried this, and throw many ideas onto the table, not just be a yes man. Sure, coach, whatever you want. That doesn't work. And so he's got guys around him on the coaching staff, does Taylor Jenkins, that come from all walks and are all ages, and they just are incredibly unified there. And then in the front office, Zach Kleiman was smart enough to know he doesn't know everything. He was smart enough to understand that different perspectives lead you to completing an entire picture. So he brings in Tayshaun Prince, who obviously had a remarkable playing career and can understand what it's like to be a player. And he brings in a Rich Cho, who was a general manager in Charlotte, but relies heavily on analytics. And then a Glenn Grunwald, who's been with multiple teams and kind of uses both. And they balance the analytical side with the system that Taylor Jenkins wants to run with the eye test of talent. Can this guy play in our system and be successful? And that's a big deal.
It's going to be a lot of fun to see how this actually plays out. We actually had you on, and we did this, I don't know, Derek, probably 3 weeks ago, maybe a month. And it was when things were real. You could just tell this team was a little bit different. And, Eric, we spent a whole hour. And I just posed it like this. I said, no disrespect. I just want to know. I mean, you've done radio. You've done radio for a long time. You understand this. I was like, does anybody care here in this market about the Grizzlies? Does anybody care? If you don't care, we're not going to talk about them. But if you do, then we will. And we spent an hour on them. We got that much response. It was actually overwhelming.
That's the Ja Morant effect.
Yeah.
That's the Ja Morant effect. He's fun to watch. And that was the difference with this group and the last group. Again, no disrespect, but why I think hands down they're the best, not only because I think they're top to bottom have a little bit more talent, but their style translates to winning better in today's NBA. Look, winning games matters, but to win games 87 to 85 or 83, people are going like, yeah, I'd like to see the basketball move. I'd like to see it, shot more. I'd like to see a little bit more, action, so to speak, and that's part of it. So they're fun to watch. It's remarkable when we go on the road, the number of people waiting outside the team hotel, the number of people inside the arena early wearing Grizzlies jerseys. And we're just like, okay. The best story I can give you is we had a short walk in Charlotte from our hotel to the arena, and we're just walking on the street. We don't take the bus. We're staying over after the game, whatever it may be. And it's myself, Brevin Knight, and Rob Fisher, who are both on the TV crew. And 4 different times we got stopped. Hey, you guys are the Grizzlies announcers. And we went, what world are we living in right now? This is bananas. Like, how the hell do you know who we are? And, didn't just know us, knew our names, and I was like, whoa, people are paying attention. And so, yeah, it matters. And I totally understand what you mean. And don't take disrespect, because when you host a radio show, you can't talk about things nobody wants to hear, or they'll turn the station. I mean, I love baseball. When I hosted a radio show for 8 years in Memphis, I didn't talk baseball because nobody else wanted to talk about it but me. I love talking baseball.
Yeah.
If I go to St. Louis and talk baseball, I'll talk for 2 hours. But
no doubt.
It was just what the market wanted. And so I don't take disrespect for that at all. I take that as a compliment that this team has now been built to where people care and where people will jump in the car and make a trip and will spend a weekend in Memphis to come watch the Grizzlies play, because they're going to be not only that good as a team, but that big of a show.
Eric, we've enjoyed it as always. I'm sure we'll be talking soon. Thanks for doing this.
Anytime, guys. Great to hear from you again, and I hope everybody's doing well. And it's been a wild 2 years, and hopefully we're on the flip side of that and get to enjoy a nice little playoff run.
Amen to that. Eric Hasseltine, voice of the Grizzlies. You just heard it. Been doing it a long time. And this team is different, and we'll discuss that on the other side here on the DDC, ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Meshing journalism.
They are 2 scores behind you. The math says that increases your chances of winning.
With sports fandom.
I stayed up till 1:30 in the morning, just emotionally numb from Titans and Packers.
And sarcasm.
You guys are the worst.
Robbie Stanley and Joe Rexrode are Robbie and Rexrode. No duh. Weekday mornings from 6 to 10. Brought to you by Little Guys Movers on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app. Watch live on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube.
Hi guys, are you struggling with erectile dysfunction and sick of the pills? Well, today, Thursday, April 7th, we're doing something special. Hillside Medical Clinic uses the most powerful form of wave therapy, shown by Cambridge to repair blood vessels and get rid of ED at its core. If you're ready to put a stop to your ED, call us now, and not only will the assessment and ultrasound be free, we'll also include something unique that produces immediate results in the bedroom. You're going to love that. And today only, we're offering 3 additional treatments to our patients free. This means that if you notice results fading, we'll retreat you free of charge. This is unprecedented and worth hundreds of dollars. Call today, Thursday, April 7th, and qualify free. 615-576-5000. That's 615-576-5000. Put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and get your love life back. Call Hillside Medical Clinic now to qualify. This offer ends today. 615-576-5000.
BetOnline.net is your #1 source for all your betting needs and sports info. Find all of the latest sports developments, including this week's Masters Championships odds, podcasts, and reviews for all the different leagues this season. BetOnline.net is your continued source for all your sporting wagering information, including live betting, esports, and scores. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends in action. BetOnline.net, where the game starts.
What if you could be debt-free in 3 weeks? Hey, Willie Daunic here. My friends at Loan Pronto are helping people do it every day. It's Loan Pronto's Debt Consolidation Home Refi, wiping out tens of thousands in credit card debt. Listen, your home's value is way up. You can refinance now, take money out to pay off all your credit cards, eliminate PMI charges, pay off personal loans, or other high-interest debt. One local couple had over $50,000 in credit card debt. Loan Pronto did a debt consolidation refi. And even though their mortgage rate went up a tad, they cut their monthly payments by $900. Why pay 20% interest when you can consolidate it to one low payment with a mortgage APR in the 3s? Homeowners who do it save an average of $800 a month. Do it now and even skip your next house payment altogether. That's what I call financial freedom. Call Loan Pronto now. 615-499-5780. That's 615-499-5780 or loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166-1781, subject to lender approval.
Spring has sprung, which means it's time to renew your home with Social Furniture. It's their Spring Fling sale, where all furniture is up to 50% off. That's right, up to 50% off on top name brands such as Serta, Sealy, Simmons, Caracol, Bernhardt, and Woodhouse. At Social Furniture, you'll find new bedroom furniture, mattresses, and sofas, all up to 50% off. Spring into Social Furniture today on Charlotte Avenue in West Nashville. Shop local, shop social. Social Furniture is a proud supporter of your Nashville Predators.
The 2022 Major League Soccer season is officially here, and Nashville SC's new home, Geodis Park, is nearly complete. Don't miss Nashville SC's home opener May 1st. Secure your season tickets now. Come on and grab a seat at NashvilleSC.com/22ticks.
Tonight.
Oh, do you like Frosties? Do you like cheeseburgers?
The Predators are back on the road to take on the Ottawa Senators.
A lot of fun playing with this team.
Pre-game at 5, face-off at 6 on Smashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app. Interact with Darren, Daunic, and Chase. Call or text the show at 615-737-1025. Driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com.
Looking for a place to hang to watch the Predators in Ottawa tonight take on the Senators? How about Headquarters Beercade? They'll have drink specials, plus a chance for you to win tickets to an upcoming home game. It's the Preds Bud Light Watch Party at Headquarters Beercade, located at 114 2nd Avenue South, downtown. Puck drops tonight at 6 o'clock. Pete Weber and Hal Gill will have your call from Ottawa tonight, starting at 6. I'll have your pregame at 5. Everything heard right here on ESPN 102.5 The Game. Darren McFarland, Derek Mason here in Hillside Medical Game Studios. Good stuff from Eric Hasseltine, as always. And I will say this. So we did that one day on the show. Like, do you care? It was in the last hour. We spent the whole hour because we got so many people calling in or texting. Like, yeah. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't a slight at Memphis. It was, but, you know, there have been, like, I've been in this market a long time. There have been a lot of tension between the two markets. Okay, and a lot's changed over the years, but it was a legit question because we're in the business of talking about what you want to hear, what you want to talk about. And if nobody cares, we're not going to talk about it. But it did feel like things were different with this Grizzlies team. I know people that have gone to games this year that I've never had that conversation with them before, but they made a point to go to a Grizzlies game and tell everybody about it. Like, hey, we went. In fact, I know I've got a lot of those stories. This
I had a few friends that have went to Grizzly games, and they had a great time. Grizzly won. They had a great time at the arena. So,
well, it's a fantastic arena. I haven't been there in many, many years, but I used to go to Grizzlies games.
Yeah.
And had a great time. It's a great atmosphere. It's a great arena, but great location right there. But if nobody cares about this Grizzlies team that's really good, we're not going to talk about it. Well, we spent the whole hour, if you remember.
Yeah.
And we got flooded with calls, and we got flooded with text messages saying, yeah, we care. Like this Ja Morant guy is now we'll see. Now the playoffs are about to get cranked up. I mean, I think Phoenix and Memphis are on a collision course for the Western Conference Finals, but Golden State's good, and there's other teams that are good. It's not going to be Utah and Denver. I mean, it's not going to be easy.
It's not going to be a cakewalk.
No, but that's beside the point. Point is, okay, they're about ready to go into the playoffs, and does this market care? And all they've done since we've had that conversation is just win, even more and more and more.
Mm-hmm.
So if we were flooded with that for an hour that day, and everybody's saying, yeah, there were, it wasn't everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there were people that said, yeah, no, could care less.
Mm-hmm.
But overwhelmingly, it was, yeah, we care. We do. But there were some people like, nah, or they just weren't fans of the NBA, and that's fine. I mean, I get that. But I don't know how it's lessened because you just heard it. They just lost in overtime to Utah, Elijah, because they're in Denver tonight, right? It was Utah. They lost in overtime, which, by the way, that's not an easy place to win.
Mm-mm.
And they are 20-3 without Ja Morant. Just think about that. Just after coming off an overtime loss. 20-3 in their last 23 games without Ja Morant. Now, what's his status? Is he going to be available for the playoffs?
He should be. I think it's going to time out to probably by the time the playoffs start is when he returns. I don't think he'll play the rest of the regular season.
They only got, 3 games left?
Handful of games
Two.
left.
It was just they're at the very end of the regular season. So I do wonder, because we get the TV ratings from Mark Benda, News Channel 5. Like, I wonder if Grizzlies games will start showing up, playoff games. How much will people care in this market? Because typically the NHL starts their playoffs before the NBA, but because of how they had to do this year's schedule with what they thought was going to be the 3-week break, that whole thing, they didn't go to the Olympics, so they're obviously going to the end of the month, and so they'll be later. It'll be a later start. So I wonder, Predators regular season winding down, the NBA playoffs starting. Okay, you told us you cared. We just talked about them. Now let's find out.
We'll see if you really care.
Yeah, we'll see if you really care in the playoffs.
Because they would be one of the odds-on favorite to make it to the finals.
Yeah. And he just said, I asked Eric Hasseltine, where does this team stack up to others? He said, his exact words, hands down the best team they've ever had.
And that's saying a lot because that 13 team.
Well, they went to the Western Conference
Even
Final.
though they lost to the Spurs, I think the Spurs swept them that year. Even though they lost to the Spurs, that was a really good team. Spurs ultimately ended up winning the NBA championship, didn't they, that year? I
believe so.
Saying that's the year they went to the Western Conference Finals?
They beat Grizzlies in the Western Conference Finals, and I think they went on to win the.
They lost to the Thunder in the Western Conference Finals, I thought.
Who did?
I go check that. The Grizzlies did.
Well, one year they lost to. I thought they lost to the Spurs.
Conference final once.
I thought they lost to the Spurs. I could be wrong on that one.
But we're about to find out what people in this market, if they really do care. But like I said, I suspect nothing's changed. I mean, all they've done is win since we had that conversation. Sonny on our text line wanted to make it clear with our Waterboy discussion that Waterboy is now called the Director of Hydration.
So you're DH now.
The Director of Hydration. That did give us a really good laugh.
And Chase is out of the game now because, as Elijah said during the break, he was considered a water boy then. He has now become a man. So water boy and water man, those are two different. The responsibilities are different now.
The evolution.
Yeah. And your responsibilities are a lot different than what they were in high school. So, again, you can take advice from Chase, but he's out of the game too long, man.
You just said it. He's washed up.
Yeah, he's washed up, man. He's, his Gatorade bottle and his wristbands are at the Hall of Fame, man.
They're hanging up.
Yeah.
Weston Clarksville says, I'm going to a Grizzlies game on Saturday. Go Grizzlies. There you go. on our text line driven by WilsonCountyHunter.com.
It was 13. It was the Spurs.
It was the Spurs. I just saw
that sounded right. Andrew in the Borough says Grizzlies need to move to Nashville with the new Titan Stadium, a basketball arena like campus, maybe even baseball stadium as well. Well, holy crap, Mike, where's all this money going to come from?
I would love it.
Land and money, or Andrew, excuse me, Andrew. Where's all this money and land going to come from?
If you're asking me, I would vote 100 times.
Would
for
you?
it.
100 times.
Yep. For a basketball team, absolutely.
Well, he said basketball and baseball, all on the same place, the land plot that the Titans are on right now.
Well, I just vote for basketball.
Okay.
I'll let everybody else vote for the other stuff.
All right.
Yeah.
Just saying. All right, we're going to get back into, would you be in favor of Baker Mayfield? Is this a good move, bad move? We believe John Robinson should absolutely be thinking about this. When the Browns have to cut bait, is Baker Mayfield on their radar? We'll discuss the game.
Here they come, turn 4.
Hey, it's Chase McCabe. Join me for Chasing Checkers every Sunday morning at 8 as we talk all the big stories in NASCAR, IndyCar, and the motor racing world. We'll also talk to some of the big names in the sport. It's Chasing Checkers, presented by Apple Collision Centers, Bristol Motor Speedway, and the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway on ESPN 102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Finishing jobs on time, never being idle, and powerful equipment. Meade has the John Deere excavating equipment and the smart grade technology solutions for you and your business. Power your business with a new, used, or rented excavator and get the performance you expect and service you can rely on. Call us today for the equipment built as tough and reliable as you, or visit us at meadtractor.com. That's meadtractor.com.
Hey, it's Jared from my official sportsbook app, the FanDuel Sportsbook app. MLB opening day is here, and right now all customers can swing for the fences with a no-sweat same-game parlay on FanDuel Sportsbook. Just pick any of the MLB games and combine at least 3 bets. And you know what? Strikeouts are going to be up early in the season. Home runs are going to be down, so obviously be thinking about that. And you can put it all into one bet for bigger payouts. And if your first bet doesn't win, FanDuel will refund you up to $10 in free bets. Not sure what to bet on? Check out FanDuel's popular same-game parlays to see what most fans are betting and get in on the action. Head over to FanDuel and download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and sign up with the promo code JGM to bet your no-sweat same-game parlay today. That's promo code JGM. 21 and older and present in Tennessee. First online real money wager. Only $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable site credit that expires 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call the Tennessee Red Line 1-800-889-9789.
Nashville Sounds Baseball is back, and you can hear every game this season on ESPN 94.9. Grab tickets today as the Sounds host Durham, the AAA affiliate of the Tampa Bay Rays, tonight through Sunday. The action continues on the diamond in 2 weeks as Charlotte, the AAA affiliate of the Chicago White Sox, come to town. And don't forget to visit Third and Home, Germantown's bar with the ballpark, before and after every Sounds game. Visit NashvilleSounds.com for tickets, and we'll see you at the ballpark for Sounds Baseball in Hit City, where every night's a hit.
Hey, it's Jared for TriStar Moving. If you're looking to move, you need to give my friends at TriStar Moving a call. At TriStar Moving, you'll get 5-star service throughout the entire process. Everything will be taken care of, from covering your floors, banisters, railings, front door thresholds, furniture, TVs, and more. They took great care of my move and made it as stress-free as possible. If you're looking to move, give TriStar Moving a call, 615-640-1219, or visit them at nashvillemoving.org/radio and get 5% off your entire move. TriStar Moving, my official movers.
Hit City is back. Play ball.
And that's gone. John Singleton's first at-bat as a Sound.
Your Nashville Sounds continue their series against the Durham Bulls.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Sounds win.
Coverage starts at 6:20 on your home for Nashville Sounds Baseball.
ESPN
94.9 and the Game Nashville app.
Hey Nashville, this is Laura Rutledge from the SEC Network, and you're listening to Nashville's best sports talk, ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Thank you, Laura. You can watch us streaming live on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook every day. Our video streaming is brought to you by the law offices of Amanda Gentry. Back here on the DDC, Darren McFarland, Derek Mason, Willie Daunic is now in the mix from Ottawa.
Yo, yo.
What's going
Greetings
on?
from north of the border, peeps.
What's up, Billy?
Billy's
in the house.
Billy D.
On our text line, by the way, Phil says nobody is beating this team 4 times, talking about the Grizzlies.
It's going to be tough, I tell you that.
Adams on our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Love the Grizzlies talk, but really want more attention to the University of Memphis football and basketball. Do not expect as much attention as UT or Vanderbilt, but love going to a few games in Memphis. That's from Adams. A lot of talk. We had Eric Hasseltine on, Willie, to start the hour. A lot of people. A lot of people are
Grizz
all in.
fever, man.
It's about to start. Playoff time.
Time to get the mindset. It's time to get the mindset. They got a chance.
They got more than a chance.
They got a chance to. I'm talking about win the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what people are saying on our text line. Nobody's going to beat this team 4 times. We'll see.
It's tough. They're tough.
Eric Hasseltine said this team is the best team, hands down, that they've ever had in Memphis. So, hands down. And he's been there the whole time. So he would know. All right, now to our question. And Willie doesn't know what we've been talking about. Nate on our text line says, my only holdup is that he just doesn't know if Baker Mayfield would accept a backup role. Now, for people who just tuned in, people who just joined us, like Willie.
No, I've been briefed.
Okay.
I've been briefed.
Okay, you've been briefed.
My answer is ready, but debrief everybody else.
Okay.
But just know that I'm in the know.
We think the league is side-staring the Browns because of the Deshaun Watson deal, that they're furious over the Deshaun Watson deal, and they're like, we're not helping you. We're not giving you anything. You're stuck. Now you're going to have to release him. You're going to have to eat a lot of dead money, and you're stuck, and we're not giving you squat because they're mad about the Deshaun Watson deal. And I think some franchises are even more mad than others. Some may be telling them, you're number one with a certain finger. I mean, that's the vibe I get. So they're putting Cleveland in a corner and in a box and saying, yeah, you want to get rid of him? Just release him. But we're not giving you squat. If that happens, because neither one of us believes, and you can weigh in on this portion of it too, neither one of us believe that they are going into the season with both of them, Deshaun Watson and Baker Mayfield, on the roster. If indeed, at some point, before the draft, after the draft, the Browns say, all right, we're cutting Baker Mayfield. Done. The experiment in Cleveland is over. That we believe the Titans and John Robinson should absolutely be gung-ho to go get Baker Mayfield and bring him in as the backup. Your thoughts?
Well, let's assume that it's at a very economical price, right? So that would mean that nobody offers him an attractive salary as a backup. I would think that if he hits the market as a backup, teams are going to scrape together. There's going to be some competition for him as a backup. If he's out there and he says, I'm available, I'm ready to restart my career, and I'm willing to take a lot less money because he's going to get a lot of money from the Browns, right? That is the thing that, a team would probably sell to him. Look, Baker, you're getting paid by the Browns, so we need to get you at a low price to get you under the cap. So let's assume all that can happen for the Titans, which is still a question mark to me because they don't have a lot of extra money floating around under the cap. They got a lot of things they want to do, but clearly he's an upgrade on Logan Woodside. We all know that. Here's the dynamic I'd be concerned with. And Derek, I'm going to go back to a conversation that you and I had way back in the tent. Let's just take you down memory lane. It was Jake Locker and Matt Hasselbeck at the time as the two coaches. Derek was doing the show with us in a tent with the now Hall of Famer George Plaster, me, Brad Hopkins. And this was the discussion. Hey, this was Derek, if I remember correctly. They need to move on from Matt Hasselbeck next year if they want Jake Locker to be the starter, because you don't want Jake Locker looking over his shoulder and having all the fans saying, well, we need to put Hasselbeck back in there. You don't want a backup that is a threat to him. Would you say, Derek, that would be the same dynamic?
Derek is no longer in that camp. That was a long time ago.
I think the dynamic is different now. If Ryan was a young quarterback, still feeling his way through, then
like Locker was.
Yeah, like Locker was. Then it's like, okay, give him a legitimate shot. And if it doesn't work, then you move on. With Ryan, is different. You know what he's about. And, do they feel he can get them and win a Super Bowl? I don't know. All I know is that, just like with Mariota, in the public, they're saying he's our guy. We love him. He's our quarterback. We're just going to put players around him, and that's it. But then what happened to Mariota? Ultimately, he got benched in favor of Ryan Tannehill. So I think the dynamics is a little bit different, Willie, but I understand what you're saying.
Because right now, and we talked about this the other day, nobody is going to call our show who is a sane person and say, you know what, guys, I've seen enough of Tannehill. We need to give Logan Woodside a shot. That is not going to happen as long as Logan Woodside is the quarterback, backing up Ryan Tannehill. The minute you bring in Baker Mayfield, all of the people that have had this notion of, hey, I don't think I believe in Tannehill anymore. I don't know about Tannehill. That is going to become a lot of noise. Now, who can block out the noise? Mike Vrabel knows how to block out the noise, but it is something he would have to deal with a lot, right? The minute Ryan Tannehill makes a mistake, it's the oldest thing in talk radio and pro football. The most popular guy is the backup quarterback, right? Mm-hmm. Especially if it's a guy who's got some credentials like Baker Mayfield does.
And, Derek, what's my counter to that? Because I've already laid that out. What's my counter to that? It's going to happen.
Yeah, regardless. It's going to happen regardless.
Doesn't matter if you've got Logan Woodside, Logan Whiteside, Logan Blindside.
That's the two next-door neighbors.
That's the neighbors. They're all on the same street. Or Baker Mayfield. You're not escaping that. Like, that horse has already left the barn. Let me tell you, the first pick, whether it's his fault or not, there's going to be groans. There's going to be people going, here we go again. Here we go. You are not escaping that because the narrative's changed. Feelings have changed. How people view you has changed. And whether you got Baker Mayfield, Logan Woodside, Logan Whiteside, it doesn't matter, or no backup. You are not escaping that.
What about Charlie Whitehurst?
Charlie Whitehurst, you're not going to escape that. Clipboard Jesus, you're not going to get away from that.
Hurst. It doesn't matter who you have.
Billy Volek, it's not changing. Like that, people have already made up their mind.
Okay.
So the minute he struggles, it's like, great.
It's another level, though, when you have a guy and people. Because let's think back. There was not a huge loud thing about they should try Tannehill. I don't remember it being really. It sort of happened quick, right? It went from, hey, Marcus is struggling a little bit, to, boom, he's out, and Tannehill's in.
I could tell you.
No. I can remember when that trade happened. When that trade happened, and I think I was doing the show with you guys or in the morning show. I think I might have been doing it with.
Well, I can tell you right where we were at the SEC basketball tournament.
I said Ryan's going to be the starting quarterback. He's going to end up being the starting quarterback.
Happened during our show.
They're bringing him in to be a starter. I know what they're saying, and they're saying everything right because they don't want Mario to get too upset, too worried. But behind closed doors between head coach Jim and whoever else, they're bringing Ryan in to ultimately be the starter. That's what it was.
We were at
and
the
it played
SEC
out
basketball
like
tournament at Bridgestone Arena, and it happened.
I remember it well.
During our show.
I was on a bus with the Predators somewhere, some far-off city. I don't know, but I remember on my phone riding along and seeing this and trying to take it all in.
I was doing cartwheels, and I could do them then.
Yes,
that day I could do cartwheels.
I wasn't there with you, but I could visualize you doing the cartwheels, Darren. You're very acrobatic in that respect. But here's the difference.
He can say that in Ottawa.
They knew at that point that Marcus Mariota was, I just don't know if he's going to get there. If he gets there, great, fine, but we need to push him. We're not committed to him after this year.
They weren't saying that publicly.
No, they weren't. But
Absolutely.
I think you had a good feel for when they weren't talking contract renegotiation or let's re-up this guy. I think they were basically, we're going to let this thing ride, and we need to have a plan B. This is interesting. I'm not saying I don't want this at all. Like it also depends on what does John Robinson think, and for that matter, Mike Vrabel. What do they think of the upside of Baker Mayfield? He's still very young. Do they think he could be a guy who with a new address and a new leash on life, pressure off, could be a lot better, and a guy that provides a big ceiling someday.
Well,
if you could get him cheap, that's how I view it. If you get him cheap, and everybody's got the right attitude, it could be a good thing.
We'll continue on the other side to wrap up the third hour. Elliot Friedman coming up at 1 o'clock, and I'm going to tell you why the noise doesn't matter when we come back. ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Hey, I'm Matthias Ekholm, and this is Smashville.
Ekholm, his shot, he scores! Matthias Ekholm gets the Predators third of the night.
You're listening to the flagship of the Nashville Predators radio network, ESPN 102.5 The Game.
From the Fox 17 News Code Red Weather Center.
I'm Fox 17 News Code Red meteorologist Dan Guthrie. Partly cloudy skies continue for us here throughout the afternoon, with temperatures topping out in the upper 50s and lower 60s. We get cooler for the rest of the week.
This weather report brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Spring has sprung, which means it's time to renew your home with Social Furniture. It's their Spring Fling sale, where all furniture is up to 50% off. That's right, up to 50% off on top name brands such as Serta, Sealy, Simmons, Caracol, Bernhardt, and Woodhouse. At Social Furniture, you'll find new bedroom furniture, mattresses, and sofas, all up to 50% off. Spring into Social Furniture today on Charlotte Avenue in West Nashville. Shop local, shop social. Social Furniture is a proud supporter of your Nashville Predators.
Parman Tractor and Equipment is your one-stop tractor and equipment solution, and Middle Tennessee's Link Belt and Takeuchi dealer. Rent or purchase a track loader, mini excavator, large excavators for your job site, or something in between. Parman is now hiring and seeking qualified candidates for construction equipment truck drivers, service technicians, and more. Apply at parmantractor.com or call 615-865-7800. Come be an employee owner with the Parman team, your Middle Tennessee Link Belt and Takeuchi dealer.
Bring your hive together with Spirited Hive. It's Hive O'Clock. What is Hive O'Clock? It's connecting or celebrating with your hive, a time to be present and create shared memories. At Spirited Hive, we become aficionados discerning what goes best with bourbon, tequila, and vodka. Bourbon whiskey with rosemary infused with honey and lemon, tequila ginger infused with honey and lime, or vodka cranberry infused with honey and lime. Available to purchase on reservebar.com or tap room for delivery within the hour. Join us at Spirited Hive on Instagram to see what the buzz is all about.
Has she seen an engagement ring she really loves? A unique look from a top-notch designer? You won't find it at just any store, but you will at Genesis Diamonds.
At Genesis Diamonds, we work with the most sought-after designers in this country. We are proud to feature lines like Tacori, Verragio, Kirk Cara, Henry Dawsey, A. Jaffe, Jeff Cooper, Gabriel, and many more.
Since other jewelers can't get these designers, David says beware of knockoffs.
Often stores will result to copying or knocking off a designer ring just to compete with Genesis. And oftentimes you will actually pay the same, if not more, for that fake.
Why risk it? Genesis has the real deal. Unique, handcrafted, cutting-edge designs and award-winning craftsmanship.
So not only will you get the exact product you wish with the brand you trust, but at a price that you can afford.
Get her the ring of her dreams at Genesis Diamonds.
Every girl wants a designer ring. They don't want Joe in the back room to make a copy. They want the real thing.
Continuously voted best jewelry store and best place to buy an engagement ring. Green Hills and Cool Springs.
Signs First is the official sign company for 102.5 The Game. Go to sfnash.com.
So, what is Jared Stillman going to say this afternoon?
You got to play if you want to earn $14.6 million next year.
Oh, brother, here we go.
But I'm done on investing money in dudes that can't get on the field.
Tune in to Stillman and Company, weekday afternoons from 2 to 6.
This is some serious stuff right here.
Delivered by TriStar Moving on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app. Watch live on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. If you've missed any of today's show, just search Darren, Daunic, and Chase on Apple, Spotify, or on your favorite podcast platform.
Go to theGameNashville.com/deals to check out Nashville's best deals. Right now they got half off deals. Woodhouse Spa, the Mainstay Restaurant, Brooklyn Bowl, plus experience a 60-minute float session from the Float Horizon for just $39.50. Check out Nashville's best deals at theGameNashville.com/deals. Elliot Friedman coming up at 1 o'clock here on this Thursday. Back here on the DDC. Darren McFarland, Derek Mason, Willie Daunic here with you, talking about Baker Mayfield. When, it's not if, when he's shown the door in Cleveland, should indeed the Titans be interested in his services as a backup here. Now, we've talked about the noise. And the reason you can't worry about the noise is because the noise is going to happen no matter what. Like I said, it's going to happen unless he plays flawlessly. Mm-hmm. If he is perfect in 2022, he goes for 34 touchdowns and 0 picks for 4,100 yards. And I don't believe that's ever happened. I don't think. I don't think a quarterback's ever had a perfect season.
Would you accept 33 touchdowns and 8 interceptions?
Well, I said this earlier, that the push, which is what Derek has been saying, just like the push with Mariota, the push for Tannehill, bringing in a guy like Baker Mayfield was, and I said that you want him to duplicate, you want him to play inspired and basically give you the 2020 season. That's what you want. That's what you hope to accomplish.
Yeah, a bounce back.
Yeah, a bounce back, and it looked like the 2020 season. But you can't worry about the noise because the noise is going to happen. And you have to worry about putting the best roster together. You have to worry about giving yourself the best opportunity for success. And what gives you the best opportunity? Logan Woodside is the backup, whether he gets hurt or he's not producing, it's not working out, or Baker Mayfield. I don't think there's anyone, as you said, well, no one has ever called in or texted this show ever and said, you know what, it's time for Logan Woodside. It's time.
But nobody ever will.
It's
nobody
time.
ever will.
Like, now is the time. It's time for
It's
Logan
Woodside time.
It's Woodside time. Get the shirts ready.
Nobody
it's
ever will do
Woodside
that.
time. No one's done that. And so, yes, would it create a distraction if Baker Mayfield was here? Yes. But the distraction is already there because of the way the season ended last year. That distraction is already in play no matter what. And so you can't worry about that. You have to worry about putting yourself in the best position. Think about where this franchise would be if they didn't make the trade for Ryan Tannehill.
Willie,
would they still have Mariota?
Probably not.
No?
No. I think they would have moved on from him.
To what? To who?
They would have drafted somebody.
Drafted somebody.
Yeah. They would have moved on from Mariota. They would have.
Well, if it continued along the path that it continued, then there's no question that's what
they brought in
happened.
Ryan, so they didn't have to draft someone. They brought in
someone
that was
none of us thought
proven.
None of us thought that Tannehill would hit the heights that he had when he came in Denver when they were down, and he gave them a little bit of a lifeline. And then the next week they had that big win. I think if I remember correctly, it was against the Chargers. Goal line stand. Remember, I think it was Jeffrey Simmons, kind of a coming out party. I never thought that they would go 30-13 with Ryan Tannehill as the starter. I mean, I don't think anybody thought that he would jump to a new level that he had never shown before. So it was a stroke of genius to do this. So what about the other part? Like they got a great bargain with Tannehill in that they didn't have to give up much, and they also got him cheap. Remember, if I remember,
he ain't cheap.
The Dolphins were paying part of his salary when they brought him in, so it didn't cost them much in terms of assets or cap space.
It would be the same way with Baker.
I guess that's my question. What are you willing to budget for him as the backup? Do you think he would be that cheap? I mean, I got to believe there'd be a handful of teams.
He's going to be a backup.
Yes, he will be a backup. There's no question about it.
So what are you saying cheap, Willie?
How many teams do you think will throw their hat in the ring and say, we want you to be our backup? If there's 5 teams, then you're going to have to budget a little bit more than you do for Logan Woodside.
Well, backups are getting paid $6-7 million.
$5, $6, $7 million.
Okay,
yeah.
$5, $6, $7 million. So what does that do? And this is where I need the capologist to consult with me. Like I got to go to my guy and say, all right, I'd like to bring in Baker Mayfield. I think it's going to cost X million. Let's just throw out there $6 million. And maybe there's some incentives that we throw in there. What does that do to the rest of my roster? Do we have to cut somebody? What about the extra space? You know what I mean? Like
they'll find the money.
We know they got tough choices to make.
I think they would find the money. But my thing is,
and that's worth it to you.
Yes,
an
because
extra $6 million as opposed to Woodside. What does he make? Does he make $1 million?
Yeah, he makes $1 million. Makes over $1 million.
Okay, so $6 million to $1 million.
But
we're
not talking about funds. We're talking about whether, we believe he is the guy or he isn't. Is he the guy to get us to the Super Bowl, or is he not the guy? Can he win us a Super Bowl, or can he not? That's worth more than, I'm paying a guy $6 million or I'm paying the guy $1 million. Throw that out the window. I would rather have and not need the guy than need him and then have to turn to Woodside and say, because if you don't have him, you're not turning to Woodside.
Well, by the way, having Baker for a year also tells you behind the scenes, is this the guy maybe moving forward?
Exactly.
You would know firsthand.
You know his attitude.
You know exactly what he's all
everything
about.
He's about.
I see that.
After a year, if he's not, you cut bait and you move on.
You move on.
But you tell you what, you're going to learn a whole lot about him.
Oh, you're going to learn
for that year.
Not just him. You're going to learn about Ryan Tannehill too. You're going to learn more about Ryan as well. Because, again, I believe competition either do one or two things to an individual in sports. It either raises your elevation, it elevates your play,
or you shrink,
or it diminishes your play. One of the two. The one that argues and complains because you're bringing in someone to possibly replace them or compete with them, the ones that complain publicly and everything else, those are the ones typically that don't want competition because they know they will shrink when it comes to competition. I don't think Ryan's that way. So I would rather bring in Baker, Ryan flourishes, we get to the Super Bowl. A win-win for everybody.
I'm sold if you can make the budget work and I don't have to lose 2 or 3 guys I'd like to keep. How much did Jameis Winston make when he came to the Saints? I think that's a fairly comparable situation. Right?
I thought wasn't it like a ridiculous? I think it was like $1 million.
It seemed like it was very low.
It was
very low. Part of the lure, I think, was Winston was like, okay, I'll prove myself. I've made some money. I got to go prove that I belong. I wonder if Mayfield would take something that low. I just feel like he'll have a little bit more competition in terms of teams that would, want to take a look at him as the backup. I could be wrong.
If you views it as a spot, he could possibly get another crack at being a starter again. I'd say the answer is yes.
If he's listening and reading the tea leaves and he look at the Titans, he will probably say, you know what, that's probably a place I can go and eventually become the starter. Good organization.
Has done a whole lot of winning.
Exactly.
Mike Vrabel's coach of the year.
That could be a place that
good market to live in.
I can possibly go there and be a starter eventually.
No state income
tax. You could do commercials from the stadium.
Commercials
the stadium.
From the new stadium in a few years.
Boy, that's when it really – see, they can promise him that. Like, with the new enclosed stadium gets here, commercials unlimited.
Because, Willie, whether they bring in a quarterback or draft a quarterback this year, there's going to be whispers if Ryan's not playing well.
Oh, it'll be more than whispers. That's
right.
What I'm saying. You're not getting away from that.
You're right. And I totally agree with you, Derek, that competition should bring out the best in a good competitor, right? If you're a good professional, then you're not bothered. In fact, it might even drive you to be better with competition behind you.
I think
the budget will be the bigger, tough part.
Elliot Friedman coming up at 1 o'clock, but first a word about Lee Company.
All right, let's talk Lee Company, proud sponsor of Nashville Predators, who are in Ottawa tonight. It's a big one. Nashville actually got some help from another team last night. Can you believe it? The Vancouver Canucks beat the Vegas Golden Knights. So Nashville has a chance to create just a little bit of breathing room if they can defeat the Senators tonight. Senators have won 3 straight, and they've scored 5, 5, and 6 in those 3 games. Meanwhile, Lee Company, who sponsors our pregame radio coverage. Darren will start that at 5 o'clock tonight. Pete and Hal will be on the call. Lee Company's got a lot of great services for you, including the home maintenance plan. Remember, year-round coverage of your house. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electric. All 4 of those systems, year-round checkups. Annual checkups on all 4 of those. Lee Company will call you and set it up. Convenient time for you. They come out, take a look at the operation, make sure everything's running efficiently and properly. If there are any issues, they'll make the repairs, and you get discounts on those repairs if you're part of that home maintenance plan. So give them a call at 615-567-1000. That's 615-567-1000, or go to leecompany.com. Lee Company. Let their decades of expertise go to work for you.
ElectronicExpress.com. We make it happen.
Winning this award is truly like winning the Super Bowl of car dealer awards for Mercedes-Benz.
Edwin Vickery, General Manager of Mercedes-Benz of Music City.
Culture, eat strategy for lunch. You have to hit on all cylinders to win this award. You can strategize all you want. You got to still have the right tools, and our tools are our people.
Live the dream with 3-time Mercedes-Benz Best of the Best award winner, Mercedes-Benz of Music City. Go to mbofmc.com.
It's the official Bud Light Preds watch party as your Nashville Predators take on the Ottawa Senators this Thursday night. Puck drops at 6, but the party starts at 5:30 with all kinds of specials. See you at headquarters, Beercade, downtown Nashville on 2nd Avenue. Go Preds!
Trying to find a new home right now is next to impossible. Very little inventory, prices are crazy high, rates are moving up. Here's a better idea. Let my friends at Loan Pronto refinance your current home, turn all that equity you have into cash, and totally transform your house. A new kitchen, new bathroom, a pool. Think about it. Your home value is up. Instead of wasting all that on an overpriced new house, convert that equity into cash for a home makeover. One local couple did it and got $200,000 out. They added new hardwoods, an outdoor living space, a swimming pool with spa and all new cabinets and appliances, plus a home office. Now they have their dream home, and they never had to move. Call Loan Pronto. Ask about their home improvement refi. Give your home a total makeover and do it now. You can even skip your next house payment in the process. Call now, 615-499-5780. That's 615-499-5780 or loanpronto.com. 615-499-5780. Equal housing lender. NMLS 166-1781. Subject to lender approval.
Attention veterans of Middle Tennessee. Little Guys Movers wants to put your hard-earned skills and leadership talent to work with your very own Little Guys Movers franchise. Be your own boss and build a team with standards as high as your own, and all while serving your community with the same hustle that you served your country. Use your existing 401k to invest in yourself. Financing options are available. Start a fulfilling, profitable new chapter of your life as a member of a team with 30-plus years of growth and good times at littleguysfranchise.com. That's littleguysfranchise.com.
Houston Clinic Orthopedics wants to thank their patients for voting them the #1 orthopedic practice in the Nashville Scene Poll for 3 years in a row. Their physicians specialize in spine, joint replacement, knee, hip, upper extremity, and other orthopedic conditions. At Houston Clinic Orthopedics, they adhere to all CDC guidelines for the patient's and staff safety. To experience world-class orthopedic care and see a list of all physicians, visit their website at tn.houston.com and book your appointment online today.
Bob's Steak and Chop House is a renowned award-winning steakhouse in major cities across the U.S. Nashville is lucky to have a location here in downtown at the Omni Nashville Hotel. Fine dining is brought to a new level at Bob's with awards like the Wine Spectator Award 4 years in a row, TripAdvisor Certificate of Excellence 5 years in a row, and Open Tables Diner's Choice Award 6 years in a row. Fine dining at its best. Bob's Steak and Chop House, open Wednesday through Saturday, 5 to 10 p.m. in the Omni Nashville Hotel. Complimentary valet parking is always available.
From the Hillside Medical Game Studios, WPRT FM Pegram, WPUC HD2 Laverne.
Good morning! Morning!
Robbie and Rex Road mornings from 6 to 10.
It's not bad. Might have to work on that. Not bad. It's a starting point.
ESPN.
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
A Cromwell Media Station.
Live from the Game Nashville studios, it's time for Darren, Daunic, and Chase. With hosts Darren McFarland, Willie Daunic, and Chase McCabe. On Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN.
102.5 The Game.
Final hour. Darren McFarland, Derek Mason. Here in our Hillside Medical Game Studios. Willie Daunic in Ottawa. Predators and Senators. Tonight, 6 o'clock puck drop. Pete Weber and Hal Gill will have your call here on these airwaves. I'll have a pregame for you at 5 o'clock. Willie and his crew over on the TV side will have their coverage starting at 5:30. Big win over Minnesota, Elliott, on Tuesday night here. Ottawa tonight on the road, and then Florida here on Saturday, at Pittsburgh on Sunday. Huge week for the Preds.
Very big week. You know, I wondered if you guys were starting to get a little nervous, about the way this was going. Dallas has made this a little too interesting, I think, for them. I think even LA has gotten a little bit nervous about what their situation is. I saw what happened with some of your results. In Vegas with their run of 5 in a row, I think they were making everybody nervous. But they suffered a tough one last night. That was a rough one for them. But we need a playoff race, and thank you for entertaining us for at least a couple of weeks.
No doubt about it. The West is definitely providing a race for sure. I've been saying it for weeks. I think this thing is coming down to the final week. Who knows? It may come down to the final game or two. I mean, it may be that close. Last Friday, after we talked to you last week, the Predators were in Buffalo. It was Rick Jeanneret night, 51 years as the voice, and they lost to the Sabres. The Sabres are not going to the playoffs for now 11 years in a row. They sold out the barn that night, first sellout in a couple of years. That market and, that dynamic, they love their Sabres hockey, but, man, 11 years, it's hard to believe they've missed the playoffs that long.
I know, it's just brutal, really. It's not something, guys, on any level that is really acceptable. You could miss the playoffs that many years and think that would be. I think now they might. The Eichel trade could have been a disaster for them. The thing that they really did was, they identified Alex Tuck, who's a Buffalo area guy, and said, we have to get a veteran here who wants to be here. And he's looked really good for them. And it's really, that one move in itself, getting a local guy who's a veteran, who's excited to be a Sabre, it kind of rejuvenated them a bit. And they've won some big games. Anderson's been very good in goal for them. They're starting to give their fans a little bit of hope. But that night, they haven't had too many sellouts. And the best advertisement is playing hard and winning. And Buffalo hasn't had too many of those nights over the last few years. That was a huge night. Expectations next year. But it's a great market with great fans. They deserve a lot better than they have.
What a comeback for Florida. They're no strangers to comebacks this year. They got down 5-1 to the Leafs, came back and won 7-6 in OT. I'm okay with the Preds jumping out to a 5-1 lead on Saturday against the Panthers, but just be careful because they're the comeback cats.
They are, and the thing is, though, it's so funny. I live in Toronto. I've lived here almost all my life. It's such a hilarious city. Toronto just went through a situation where, they won. I think they got 11 to 12 points against some really good teams. But when you have a result like that, it's mass panic here. Everybody just looks at the most negative scenario. And so, I was on one of our local radio stations today, and they're saying, is it positive? Do we look at this game as a great game, or do we look at this entertaining game, or do we look at this game as a devastating loss? And in Toronto, I said it's our birthright. We have to look at it as a devastating loss. That's just the way we are. And the people I was on the air with, they were laughing their heads off. I think the thing about this is that, I think Florida's a really fun team to watch. They have so much talent. They're like Toronto. They've got so much talent. I don't know if you can win that way in the playoffs, but I don't mind watching to see if we can find out the answer. I think this year's playoffs have such a chance to be spectacular in both conferences. But I think particularly the East, where it's been completely wide open and there's no great team. I am so excited for this year because I think it's as wide open as I can remember it. I think Colorado's pretty dominant. I think Calgary's very good. But after that, who do you look at there and say that's a guaranteed win? There really aren't anybody, and that's the way it should be.
Elliot Friedman is with us. Elliot, I think a lot about what you guys have discussed from the general managers meetings. The numbers came out. I think we were sort of aware, but they're sort of eye-popping when you put them in front of everyone. Scored in the last 25 years, so much of it being at even strength. And, the Predators knocked down defensively, but they're in the same boat as a lot of teams in their own world. They're scoring more than they've ever scored in a lot of areas, but they're having trouble stopping people, just like a lot of teams too. So it's really a league-wide thing, and don't you think, like you just sort of hit on it, from an entertainment standpoint, people have to love this.
Oh, I love it. I have a joke, like hockey is better when nobody plays defense, right? And
right.
We're in that right now, and like we're at a point right now where the average goals against average I think is 2.89. That's the highest it's been in 16 years. And the thing about that is that that time it was so high, which was 2005-06. Teams were getting 6 power plays a game. Now they're getting 3. And we can argue whether or not that's good or bad. Everybody's got their own different opinions. But I really think that if you want to win the Stanley Cup, like if you really think you're going to win the Stanley Cup, you can't depend on the power play. You got to be good at even strength. And you look at it this year, Austin Matthews, in the last 16 years, we've had 2 60-goal scorers. We've only had one. Austin Matthews at 54. We've only had 1 year where there have been 5 50-goal scorers, and we've got a shot at 5 this year. We've got Roman Josi could have the best points season for a defenseman in 30 years, and I think the 15th. He's on pace for the 15th highest total by a defenseman ever. Jonathan Huberdeau. There's been one player in the last, I think, 25 years that's got 90 assists, and he's got a shot at it. And Johnny Gaudreau has a shot from Calgary, has a shot at 95 even-strength points, which would be tied for the 15th most ever and the most in, I think, 30 years. So, we are looking, and offense sells. Derek, you played in the NFL, obviously. Mm-hmm. You know that they changed all the rules to make it easier on wide receivers, and quarterbacks. They wanted to sell offense. And sometimes we're a little bit behind in that in hockey, but this year it's the offense. And I hope this isn't a blip. I hope this is a permanent thing because offense sells.
It is exciting. Elliot, there was an interesting back and forth. We're up here in Ottawa, so we're studying the Senators here. Tim Stützle, a really good, talented up-and-comer. He got chirped at a little bit in the press conference from Brendan Gallagher from Montreal about embellishment. And it seems to me, I hear Chris Mason talk about this a lot on our broadcast, Elliot, about players that are getting good, and I think Stützle would probably fit this. There's a fine line of just being a flat-out diver that everybody can see and just being really skilled at being hooked a little bit, tripped a little bit, and knowing how to sell it and make it look good, like a Hollywood actor. Like I equate it to people who are good at drawing charges in basketball. You draw the charge without getting called for the flop, so to speak. So are you seeing that a lot? I think players are just getting good at this.
Well, I think they are, but I think there's a real hatred of it from a lot of people. The worst thing you can be called in hockey is soft. Like earlier this year, Sheldon Keefe, the coach of the Maple Leafs, he used the word soft, and that's like the worst insult you can be called in hockey is soft. But I think the second worst might be a diver or a faker, and there's a real dislike for that. And the other thing that happens is you gain a reputation and referees stop making calls on you. And so, when Gallagher did that the other day, that's like the worst, the second worst thing I think really in hockey you can say about somebody is that you're a faker or a diver. Now, Stützle may not be playing tonight, right? And
correct.
So
game time decision.
So we'll see how that all works out, and we'll see where that goes. But like a hardcore guy like DJ Smith, who's the coach of the Senators, he would want to protect his player from that. he would want to start like now. If he in any way, if he agreed, he would never say that publicly, but he would go to his player privately and he would say, Tim, like that's not the reputation you want to get. But publicly, I think he would do whatever he could to protect his player. And we'll see what happens tonight. I don't question injuries. I've learned that's a dumb thing to do. But I could see Ottawa definitely trying to send a message out there like, we think it's unfair that our player is getting that reputation, and doing what they can to say, we're going to protect our player from that reputation.
Now, Elliot, how do you see this thing ultimately playing out amongst the last few playoff spots between the Predators, Stars, and the Knights? Do you think it will just be a continual jockeying of positions until the end?
Derek, do you think I'm going on a national radio show and saying the Predators aren't going to make the playoffs? Is that what you really think?
Not in this market, probably not.
I think you guys are going to be okay. I do. I just think like the team that actually worried me for a little bit, guys, was LA, because they're running out of bodies. Like they've got some pretty significant injuries, and I think they've been really good this year and really impressed, but I was starting to worry for them that the injuries might pile up so much that they might get caught. But, we'll see where that goes. But I think you guys are going to be fine. I just think that, with Saros, I like your odds. I really do. Dallas, that's the team I can't figure out. I think they're so talented, and I think they can play so many different ways. But the math is so good for them. Like, they have the best math. They had a big win the other night against the Islanders. They just keep letting teams hang around. They've lost a lot more games in regulation than I would have expected, and it's kind of surprised me. Vegas won 5 in a row. They lost that one last night. That was a tough defeat. The math just isn't good for them. If anyone runs out of runway, unfortunately for them, I think it's going to be Vegas.
It'll be interesting. Elliot, thank you so much for this. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll do it next Thursday.
All right, guys. Take care. Have a great week.
Elliot Freeman, Sportsnet. You do the same. Hockey night in Canada. 32 Thoughts. Stars hosting the Leafs tonight. More big games on tap. Edmonton and L.A. That should be a good one. We'll get a report from Ottawa. When we come back, we'll talk about this Predators matchup against the Senators tonight. But first, a word about Loan Pronto.
All right, let's talk Loan Pronto. Home values way up, and so take advantage of that, as we've been talking about for a long time in regards to Loan Pronto. How great would it be to wipe out credit card payments? If you've got some that have been lingering and the interest is building up and you're thinking, man, how do I get ahead of this thing? Or any other high-interest loan you might have. Imagine your monthly cash flow without those payments. That's what Loan Pronto wants you to know. You can do this with Loan Pronto's debt consolidation refi. Loan Pronto has got a great program. They can help you use the equity in your home to your advantage. It's a smart financial move. Home values are up. Inflation has been great for your home. So you can refinance your mortgage now, take money out to pay off the credit card debt or any other debts you might have that have some high interest, and then you'll be set to go, and you'll have a lower monthly budget. You got to love that. For an example, one couple had $50,000 in credit card debt plus personal loans. So Loan Pronto did a debt consolidation refi, and even though their mortgage rate went up a tad, they cut their monthly payments by $900 a month. So you come out ahead. So why pay 20% interest when you can consolidate it to one low payment with a mortgage APR in the 3s. Call Loan Pronto and learn more about it. You can even skip your next house payment. 615-499-5780. That's 615-499-5780 or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166-1781, subject to lender approval.
So, what is Jared Stillman going to say this afternoon?
You got to play if you want to earn $14.6 million next year.
Oh, brother, here we go.
But I'm done on investing money in dudes that can't get on the field.
Tune in to Stillman and Company, weekday afternoons from 2 to 6.
This is some serious stuff right here.
Delivered by TriStar Moving on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN.
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app. Watch live on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube.
Hi guys, are you struggling with erectile dysfunction and sick of the pills? Well, today, Thursday, April 7th, we're doing something special. Hillside Medical Clinic uses the most powerful form of wave therapy, shown by Cambridge to repair blood vessels and get rid of ED at its core. If you're ready to put a stop to your ED, call us now, and not only will the assessment and ultrasound be free, we'll also include something unique that produces immediate results in the bedroom. You're going to love that. And today only, we're offering 3 additional treatments to our patients free. This means that if you notice results fading, we'll retreat you free of charge. This is unprecedented and worth hundreds of dollars. Call today, Thursday, April 7th, and qualify free. 615-576-5000. That's 615-576-5000. Put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and get your love life back. Call Hillside Medical Clinic now to qualify. This offer ends today. 615-576-5000.
Spring has sprung, which means it's time to renew your home with Social Furniture. It's their Spring Fling sale, where all furniture is up to 50% off. That's right, up to 50% off on top name brands such as Serta, Sealy, Simmons, Caracol, Bernhardt, and Woodhouse. At Social Furniture, you'll find new bedroom furniture, mattresses, and sofas, all up to 50% off. Spring into Social Furniture today on Charlotte Avenue in West Nashville. Shop local, shop social. Social Furniture is a proud supporter of your Nashville Predators.
Sounds Baseball is back. Catch the action at First Horizon Park tonight at 6:35. Throwback Thursday returns, presented by Budweiser, as the Sounds wear their classic 1978 throwback uniforms. For tickets, visit NashvilleSounds.com.
Finishing jobs on time, never being idle, and powerful equipment. Meade has the John Deere excavating equipment and the smart grade technology solutions for you and your business. Power your business with a new, used, or rented excavator and get the performance you expect and service you can rely on. Call us today for the equipment built as tough and reliable as you, or visit us at meadtractor.com. That's meadtractor.com.
Smokeville Smoke Shop in Hendersonville wants to invite you, your friends, and family to their huge 420 blowout event. Live music, on-site food and dessert trucks, discounts store-wide, and a free dab bar. Smokeville Smoke Shop's 420 event will be held at their flagship store located at 699 West Main Street in Hendersonville on Wednesday, April 20th. Visit them on Instagram at Smokeville Smoke Shop for more event details and to take advantage of additional special offers. Smokeville Smoke Shop for all your smoking needs.
The 2022 Major League Soccer season is officially here, and Nashville SC's new home, Geodis Park, is nearly complete. Don't miss Nashville SC's home opener May 1st. Secure your season tickets now. Come on and grab a seat at NashvilleSC.com/22tix.
Interact with Darren, Daunic, and Chase. Call or text the show at 615-737-1025. Driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com.
This is why you listen to the show, because you just never know. You never know what we're going to do. Caller 7. Caller 7. Go. 615-737-1025. That's our phone line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Lucky caller 7 will win tickets to see the Preds and the Sharks next Tuesday at Bridgestone Arena. Hello.
Baby shark, sharks.
Hello.
Oh, no, don't get that song in my head, teammates.
Hello. Yeah, why did you do that?
Oh, no.
Hey, man, it was only fitting. You said the Sharks.
It's funny you mentioned that song, because every time the Preds and Sharks play, we do the highlights at the very end of the broadcast, where every goal, all the big plays, and usually we get to pick the song that plays as the bed underneath those highlights, and every time we play the Sharks, it's always the Baby Shark instrumental.
See? There you go.
Hold on, Elijah. Just hold on a second. Hold on. One more. Okay. We're on a little bit of a delay, so you always know when everybody's hearing it, because it just
lines are blowing up.
Phone lines blowing up. Good luck.
There we go.
All right, what you got for us from Ottawa?
Ottawa.
Well, a big theme from the other day was the shakeup and putting Phil Tomasino on the first line with Ryan Johansson and Philip Forsberg, and it seemed to work well. It was not at all that the first line wasn't playing well. It was that you just have to try to figure out a way to get the most out of the first two lines. And we know for several weeks, the second line, especially just at 5-on-5, those guys weren't contributing a whole lot. And as John Hines has pointed out, it's not just lack of points. Lack of points is one thing, but it's more, are you putting pressure on the other team? Are you getting chances? Are you driving play when you're on the ice? And unfortunately, for Eeli Tolvanen, Luke Cunnin, and Mikael Granlund, it has not been the case. So they made the adjustment, and I thought they got some good stuff out of it the other day. Of course, it was really the power play that generated the most part of the offense, the 3 power play goals, and those guys will all stay intact. That first 5 is not going anywhere. In fact, Roman Josi was on both power play units. They're just keeping him out there as long as he can stand it because he's been so incredibly productive on the power play. So that's not going to change. The question tonight will be, do you, after sitting Eeli Tolvanen, bring him back in there? And if so, what role? And in the past, when he sat Eeli Tolvanen, it hasn't been for a long stretch. He gets him back in there, and Tolvanen responds. So I don't know if that's in the cards tonight, but if it is, I think it'll be really curious to see what role he is in, and do you stick with it? The other thing that I think is interesting is we talked about this, Darren, that, would Buffalo be a game where you would see David Riddick? Would Ottawa be a game that you see David Riddick? And I think the answer is, we know the answer was on Friday, and I think you're going to see UC Saros again tonight. He was in the starters crease this morning for the morning skate. So I think it's just, for better or worse, we got to have UC Saros in there, and he was razor sharp the other night. You could argue that game is completely different against the Wild, as well as the Predators played. If they don't get big saves from him, then that game could have been one of those shootouts that ends up 5-5, like you were talking about with Elliott in the Toronto-Florida game, where it ends up, who has the puck last kind of thing. So this will be something to watch for tonight. I think UC Saros will get it, and then you've got the back-to-backs. I would have to think that David Riddick gets one of the two, Saturday or Sunday.
I think anytime we talk about the goalie situation or UC Saros, we should have that sponsored by Kentucky Downs. Just ride that horse. Ride that horse.
Yeah.
Ride it till you can't. Yeah, might as well.
Right?
You are in – these games moving toward the end are critical games. And just like any other sport, when you come down to that last point, whether it be the last – 2 weeks of a season and you're battling for position in the playoffs, you want your big guns playing. You want them out there.
Yep.
So, hey, ride them as long as you can.
Here's another storyline tonight that I think will be fun. Mark Borowiecki, remember, not only played for the Ottawa Senators for 10 years, but he grew up in Ottawa. He's from Ottawa. So this will be the first time he's played ever against the Ottawa Senators.
Crazy.
And, of course, it's been a couple years. I have to ask him. I'm actually going to talk to him tonight on the bench, our bench interview for our pregame show.
Being benched?
No, it'll be taking place on the bench during warm-ups. Let me clarify. Yeah, he'll be in there. But I think he's going to get a really huge response from the crowd tonight. Now, there is no ceremony tonight. You'll be relieved to know back home because, juiced up buildings on the road have definitely played a part here in some of the recent road games. Philadelphia and Buffalo had not seen atmospheres like you saw in games where they beat the Predators, for different reasons, honoring, special guests, Claude Giroux and then Rick Jeanneret the other night. It was really special atmospheres. You won't see that tonight, and Ottawa, can struggle in attendance overall. They've got issues. They want a new arena. The arena is not in a great location here in terms of making it easy for fans to get to, and the team is obviously out of it, although they've won 3 in a row. Since the Predators beat them, they beat Detroit twice and then Montreal, and they've scored a ton of goals. So they are dangerous, no question about it. But I don't think you're going to see that electrifying atmosphere, but I do think they're going to really be happy, and they're going to do a nice salute to Mark Borowiecki tonight.
That's awesome. Congratulations, Dustin Lanier. Dustin was lucky caller 7. Go enjoy that Preds Sharks game next Tuesday. We'll get you a Masters leaderboard when we come back, and also Mike Malarkey and the Titans once again in the same story. I don't know if it's a good one or not. We'll talk about that on the other side as well. ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Join ESPN 102.5 The Game for the Music City Celebrity Golf Tournament. Benefiting Folds of Honor on May 16th at Hermitage Golf Course. Put your team together and come play with the athletes, musicians, and other local celebrities. The Music City Celebrity Golf Tournament. Sign up at theGameNashville.com/golf.
Gary Ashton here. Most people in Nashville know me as the Don't Sell Without the Intel and the Guaranteed Offer Guy. But despite my accent, I'm also 100% guaranteed Nashville. I'm a guaranteed musician, a guaranteed dog lover, and you're also guaranteed to see me at every Titans and Preds game. Guaranteed Offer means the Gary Ashton team with RE/MAX Advantage will sell your house for top dollar with no cleaning, staging, showings, or open houses, and give you up to 90 days to close. So there's plenty of time to find your next home. Guaranteed Nashville means my team lives here and loves it here. We've served Nashville for over 20 years, and we're passionate about helping the people we call neighbors and friends, which is why we've had a long-standing tradition of donating to the Vanderbilt Children's Hospital. If you're thinking about a guaranteed offer, get the only one that's guaranteed Nashville. Request a no-obligation offer by calling 615-301-1650 or go to GaryAshton.com today. Remember, Gary Ashton, guaranteed Nashville.
BetOnline.net is your #1 source for all your betting needs and sports info. Find all of the latest sports developments, including this week's Masters Championships odds, podcasts, and reviews for all the different leagues this season. BetOnline.net is your continued source for all your sporting wagering information, including live betting, esports, and scores. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends in action. BetOnline.net, where the game starts.
For years, you've known Genesis as the premier jeweler here, where you can always find the most sought-after brands in fashion and bridal jewelry. Genesis carries the best of the best, brands that others aren't even allowed to carry. But now, Genesis takes it to a whole new level with a spectacular collection of luxury pre-owned Rolexes. If you've ever dreamed of owning the world's most revered brand, you owe it to yourself to get to Genesis now and see watches people wait years to get. Luxury pre-owned Rolex Submariners, Hulks, Daytonas, Batmans, and so many others. We've scoured the country hand-selecting only the best for our showcases. The most popular models, the most well-cared for, the ones most in demand. So don't wait any longer. Reward yourself or someone you love today with a luxury pre-owned Rolex from Genesis. It's just another way Genesis Diamonds does whatever it takes to bring you only the world's best. Genesis Diamonds and luxury pre-owned Rolexes in Green Hills and Cool Springs.
Spring into savings at Electronic Express. Get up to 40% off the latest 4K TVs from Samsung, LG, Sony, Hisense, TCL, and more. That's not all. Get huge savings in every department like computers and gaming, smart home, housewares, mattresses, and more. Plus, save up to 40% on all appliances with up to 36 months free financing. Shop in-store or online with free express delivery on most items. Shop locally owned and family operated at Electronic Express. We make it happen.
Harmon Energy is your one-stop petroleum solution across all of Tennessee, offering turnkey petroleum solutions for professionals in major industries, serving trucking fleets, construction companies, industrial plants, and more. Whether a large corporation or owner-operator, Harmon Energy has your diesel fuel, lubricant, DEF, and equipment needs. No matter how you're getting there, start with Parman. Visit ParmanEnergy.com for more info. Your Tennessee petroleum solution, providing totally outrageous customer service.
ESPN's Turon Davenport breaks down the Titans like no other.
On the field chemistry, I don't think it's going to be a problem. It's just going to be a process.
Catch TD Mondays at 11, Thursdays at 3, and Fridays at 8. Plus, the Talking with TD podcast drops every Wednesday.
When you draft players, it's not just for one season, it's for a career.
Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Hey, Nashville, Trey Wingo here. You're listening to Nashville's best sports talk, ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Don't forget to stop by Social Furniture at 5412 Charlotte Avenue in Nashville. You can play the music, the nice soothing Masters music underneath this. Go there and enter a chance to win a pair of tickets to see the Preds and Blackhawks at Bridgestone Arena on Saturday, April 16th. Also, friends, don't forget to check out the new sofas while they're there. You must be 18 years of age or older to enter this contest. Remember, friends, no purchase necessary. Let's check our Masters scoreboard down in Augusta, Georgia. Cameron Smith is atop the leaderboard at -3. He's through 12. Sung Jae M, I guess is how you say his name, -3. He's just through 4 holes though, friends. I remember last year I called him, I said his last name one way, but I realized it wasn't. It was another way. Let's go with Jason Kokrak and not another name. -2 through 14. Danny Willett, as Elijah said during the break, as opposed to Danny Won't It. No, this is Willett. He's -2 through 14. Neiman and Scheffler are 2 under as well. And don't forget Schwartzel. He's -2 through 7. There you go, folks. Friends, that's your Masters scoreboard update. In Major League Baseball, it's underway.
Happy opening day.
Hey,
Happy opening day, everybody.
Braves
Hey.
and Cubs. Hey, no score through 1.
How's the weather?
Corbin Burns. Probably my guess, cold and windy at Wrigley.
Just a guess.
Just
at Wrigley,
a
right?
hunch.
Just a wild stab at what Wrigley Field might look like today.
Brew Crew. Hi, Brew Crew and Cubs. No score. Bottom of the first. I said through first. No score through 1. Just 1 out. So there you go. The official Major League Baseball season is underway.
Boom.
Next game up will be the Guardians and Royals. Guardians and Royals. They have first pitch in about an hour and a half. Derek, there is a story concerning Mike Mularkey and the Titans.
Yes, there was a podcast that Mike Mularkey was on in 2020. And this podcast has recently been emailed. And Mina Kimes,
or as they say, resurfaced. And Mina
Kimes, she tweeted it out. Now, here's the gist of the podcast. And I'm sure the brass over there with the Titans is not going to like this. And it says, I've always prided myself on doing the right thing in this business. And I can't say that's true about everybody in this business. Mularkey said on the podcast, it's a very cutthroat business, and a lot of guys will tell you that. I allowed myself at one point when I was in Tennessee to get caught up in something I regret, and I still regret it. But the ownership there, Amy Adams Strunk and her family, came in and told me I was going to be the head coach in 2016 before they went through the Rooney Rule. And so I sat there knowing I was the head coach in 16 as they went through this fake hiring process, knowing a lot of the coaches they were interviewing, knowing how much they prepared to go through those interviews, knowing that everything they could do, and they didn't have a chance at getting the job. Actually, the GM, John Robinson, he was in on the interview with me. He had no idea why he was interviewing me, that I had the job already. I'm sorry I did that. It was not the way to go about it. That was from Mike Mularkey.
Now,
so Ray Horton.
This is in lieu of the story today, the hit today, that Steve Wilkes and Ray Horton have joined the Brian Flores lawsuit against the NFL, of course, against the hiring practices. Or
Yeah.
You know, that we know the story, the whole story that played out in Miami, alleging racism and hiring. And, of course, this resurfaced with that story coming out today. Now, let me say this. I don't believe Mike Mularkey regrets it. What does he regret? What I ask both of you this in all seriousness. Like, we all want things to be better. We all want everybody to have a fair shake. We all want if this needs a tune-up, it needs to be better, even though they put a rule in there, the Rooney Rule, to make it better. But I guess a lot of people, obviously, like Brian Flores, said it's a sham. Mike Mularkey is basically saying the same thing because he's saying, look, I wasn't interviewing. I was already told I was going to get the job. But are you expect me to believe that Mike Mularkey regrets it? Like he didn't want another bite of that head coaching apple? Give me a break.
I think
give me a break.
I think he did, but two things can be possible.
You think if it played out differently here, that would have been said in that interview, podcast, whatever? Remember, he won a playoff game and still got shown the door.
But it doesn't make his podcast, what he said on a podcast, any less valid.
Look, all I'm saying, Derek, is how would you fault somebody, anybody, pick any profession? You expect them to feel bad if they're given a job?
I don't think you
How do you expect somebody to feel bad? Like, it's not up to them to make the place of employment better at that process. If somebody's giving you a job in which you are in search of, you're supposed to feel bad? You regret it? Come on, man.
I think it's this way because it happens with players as well. Especially rookies that come in or second-year players that are there, and they see this veteran guy, and the veteran guy has been good, and he's done everything that you would want him to do, but yet and still he still gets cut, and he gets cut because you are next in line, and they believe in you as the player. I've been through that. I understand. I felt bad, but it happened. It's not my decision. I didn't. They chose to do it, and
you're not going to stand up and say, guys, are you being fair to him?
Exactly. It happened. It was this way. When I got here, Mel Gray was here, and I idolized Mel Gray because he was in Detroit, and I watched him punt returner, kickoff returner, running back, whatever, and it was like, man, if I'm returning punts, kickoff, I want to be Mel Gray. Got here, Mel Gray was here. Still looked up to him. They cut him. I felt bad. But there's nothing I can do. You just go in there and you try to do the best you can and make them, you want them to feel that they don't regret giving you an opportunity to be in that position now. I think the same thing with Mike Mularkey. He wanted the head coaching job.
Of course
but he did feel bad that why are y'all even bringing in guys now if y'all going to hire me? But I can't say anything.
It just feels scorned a little bit. This feels like a bad breakup story.
I get it, but you can still feel bad and take the job. You can.
I'm just saying, if it didn't end the way it did, does he say that in an interview?
Well, if he's still a coach, he doesn't. If he's still a coach, he doesn't. But if he just went and got another job somewhere else.
But don't you think?
I think it still
comes
out.
There are a lot of coaches that will appreciate his honesty with the situation. He was, if I remember correctly, right? He was the interim coach. He had taken over for Wisenhunt. So basically, what happens is they say, "Look, you're going to get the job, but we have to go through the Rooney Rule." And so that's another thing about just the Rooney Rule is if you have an interim coach who is your head coach, should you have to open up the process? Why didn't they just name him the coach? If they knew he was going to be the coach, why are they conducting interviews?
Well, because
did they feel like they had to do it?
Well, Willie, in most most job situations, if they're in that, they have to open. I guess make the opening
even for the
public.
interim coach who's been doing the job for months.
In a lot of cases, yes. Because I've asked the same question.
Obviously,
like, why are you making this public?
That's a messed up system.
Well, it goes on. Agreed, but it goes on. Just so you know, this goes on in workplaces all across the country. It's not just a sports thing.
Yes,
this goes on in jobs all over. Like they're sham interviews.
Mm-hmm.
They are. You have no chance. They already know who they're hiring. Like it's the person who we're talking about. Well, it's the person in place already.
Mm-hmm.
But they had to make it public, and so now they have to interview people for a job, for an opening that really doesn't exist, but they had to for HR purposes.
Right.
So the Rooney rules.
Within that regard, Ray Horton, I think, has every right to let's bring this to the attention. Because I'll bet you that there's dozens of other times that has happened with similar circumstances.
Oh, I bet it's more than dozens.
Exactly.
It's probably hundreds of times.
Yeah, so I think that's what you're trying to get at is let's take a deep dive into the system, see the flaws in it, and how do we make it better.
Yep. We'll come back and wrap up the show next.
Jump in the mind of an NHL veteran as Predators analyst Hal Gill joins Stillman Company Tuesday afternoons at 5:30.
Here they are in a pressure situation every night because they need 2 points.
And Robbie and Rexroad Thursday mornings at 9:30.
Goaltending, I think it might be an issue at some point.
Presented by Duncan on Smashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
From the Fox 17 News Code Red Weather Center.
I'm Fox 17 News Code Red meteorologist Dan Guthrie. Partly cloudy skies continue for us here throughout the afternoon with temperatures topping out in the upper 50s and lower 60s. We get cooler for the rest of the week.
This weather report brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Realizing Geico's great service and licensed agents are available at your fingertips is like realizing the plastic piece that comes with your pizza isn't a tiny doll table. It's to keep the box from touching the pizza.
Hey, the pizza's stuck to the box. Where's that little plastic thing?
Dolly needed it for her tea party.
It's something that's been right there in front of you all along, like the dedicated Geico claims team available to you in the event of an accident to get you back on the road quickly, or how your smartphone charges faster when you put it on airplane mode.
Wow, what if I put it on rocket mode?
It's something you can't believe you never realized before, like how Geico's industry-leading app lets you pay your bill, file a claim, manage your policy, or summon help when you need it. Or how those holes in your shower caddy are there so you can store your shampoo bottles upside down.
Showers happen fast when you're not waiting on shampoo.
Great service. It's just one of the many reasons to switch to Geico. They're all right there in front of you.
MLB opening day is here, folks. And right now, all customers can swing for the fences with a no-sweat same-game parlay on FanDuel Sportsbook. Joe Rexroad here, inviting you to pick any MLB game, combine at least 3 bets. Obviously, the winner of the game, you go point spread, money line, first home run hitter, over-under, whatever you want to do, into one bet for bigger payouts. And if your bet doesn't win, FanDuel will refund you up to $10 in free bets. Not sure what to bet on? Check out FanDuel's popular same-game parlays to see what most fans are betting on. Get in on that action. A lot of times that can be very lucrative. There's no better place to bet America's pastime than on America's #1 sportsbook. One little tip from me, I'd say watch out for the Detroit Tigers this year. Maybe a little bit of a surprise team. You never know. Just head over to your FanDuel account if you've got one, or download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and sign up using promo code Joe102 to bet your no-sweat same-game parlay today. Again, that's promo code Joe102. You must be 21 or older and present in Tennessee. For a sideline real money wager only, $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued is now drawable site credit that expires 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call the Tennessee Red Line, 800-889-9789.
This is Chef John from Kitchen Notes at the Omni Nashville. Inviting you to come join us for breakfast and lunch. We are offering some exciting new menu items. For breakfast, we have a smoked prime rib hash. Comes with a sunny side up egg, hominy, caramelized onions. It's a great start to your day. We are featuring a sourdough pancake made with a sourdough bread starter. It's a fun spin on the classic buttermilk pancake. As always, Kitchen Notes is serving biscuits all day. Come join us and create a memorable experience here at the Omni Hotel. Food is all about memories for us. We'd like you to start a new memory here at Kitchen Notes in the Omni Hotel.
Breakfast at Kitchen Notes in the Omni Nashville Hotel.
This is Fogelman, ready to hustle for that muscle.
Membership numbers at Sly's Gym have been racking up.
22 people have signed up for 6 a.m. buns of steel?
Now he needs more certified trainers to do all the heavy lifting.
I'm going to have to bulk up my staff.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Inside knowledge on the Titans.
Todd Downey's got his notepad out right now, just writing things out.
Inside knowledge on the Predators.
They can go right into the forecheck, and boom, you get a beautiful goal from Colton Sissons.
And then there's a team in Knoxville.
How excited should Tennessee fans be by what they've seen from Josh Heupel in year one?
Wake up and hang out with Robbie and Rexroad. Weekday mornings from 6 to 10. Brought to you by Little Guys Movers on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and The Game Nashville app. Watch live on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. If you've missed any of today's show, just search Darren, Daunic, and Chase on Apple, Spotify, or on your favorite podcast platform.
It is, Jim. Steve Wilkes and Ray Horton have joined Brian Flores in their lawsuit against the NFL, in which they've alleged that teams, got racism in their hiring practices. We all know the story, well documented with Brian Flores and the Dolphins. Now Steve Wilkes and Ray Horton have joined that fight, and a podcast interview resurfaced. Mina Kimes from ESPN, I guess she brought to light an interview that was, did you say 2020 or 21?
2020.
2020 of Mike Mularkey talking about how he became the full-time Titans head coach.
Absolutely. So what he went on to say that the Titans informed him that he would be their new head coach, but they still had to interview individuals, more importantly, minorities, because of the Rooney Rule. So with that being said, the interview was just a sham, really. Hey, we're going to bring you in because we have to. And what he's saying is these guys are preparing themselves to be interviewed. They're doing their homework only to get in the room, at least in this case, only to get in the room knowing you have no chance at getting a job. So much so that they brought John Robinson in the room as well. And Mularkey's thinking like, why are you interviewing? I already had a job. Why are you interviewing me? Why are we doing this, going through this whole process if I already had a job? He says he regretted. And I know people will look at it and say, listen, you only regret it because you're not here anymore. If he was a head coach, he more than likely wouldn't have said anything. You would hope he would, but more than likely he wouldn't have. But like I said, two things can happen at the same time. He can regret, the way it all went down, but still wanted that job and coveted that job at being a head coach in the National Football League. There's only 32 of them.
I got a question for you, D. Mace, on this. I have heard a lot of coaches talk about this issue for years and years. Hey, the Rooney Rule exists. It's flawed. It's messed up. And there have been times where candidates like Ray Horton were in the same situation. Knew they weren't going to get the job, but they were invited to do the interview to satisfy the Rooney Rule. I want to ask you, if you were in that position and you kind of knew, because there have been some coaches that have said, look, do the interview anyway. Prepare like you're going to do the job and impress them in the interview, because that's still going to give you a better chance of getting it the next time. That's what you hear. But, man, that would be tough to go through, right? I just try to put myself in the shoes of a Ray Horton. You've got no shot. How can you really have your heart in it? So that's a tough dilemma. How would you feel if you were in that
It is
situation?
tough, and I would feel the same way that that the other minority coaches feel. Like, I'm preparing to go into an interview. I'm doing everything that I need to do to go into this interview, and knowing in the back of my mind, I'm not getting it regardless.
Okay, so let me ask you guys this.
But I still would go.
When Matt LaFleur,
you would go.
Okay, let me tell you why you should go.
Mm-hmm.
So Matt LaFleur, when he interviewed for the head coaching job here, was he getting the job?
That was him and Vrabel, right? We don't know.
I
don't know. They had named Vrabel the coach. We don't know if he wasn't.
Was he getting the job?
Honestly, I can say I don't know.
With John, you really think that they went into the interviews and they didn't know, Mike Vrabel's going to be interviewing, Matt LaFleur, they weren't sure. But the interviews, it was Mike Vrabel that knocked their socks off, and that's the guy because of the interview? You don't think it was predetermined?
Honestly, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't.
Because you know
I
who
really
else
don't
interviewed?
know.
You know who else interviewed for the job that same time? Steve Wilkes.
Yeah. Matt LaFleur.
And he got the job. He got the job for Arizona. He did not get the Titans job. So that I remember that very clearly. The Titans interviewed 3 very impressive candidates. They got Mike Vrabel. They hired Matt LaFleur as the offensive coordinator, and then Steve Wilkes got the job.
I thought they were going to hire LaFleur because of his offensive knowledge. I thought they were going more so like everyone else was going. I'm going to go with the hot offensive guy to run my team.
Okay, well, that's fine. We all have our differing views on that. I believe that Mike Vrabel was getting the job because of his relationship with John Robinson. Okay, he was getting the job. But Matt LaFleur clearly knocked their socks off in that interview because he didn't get the head coaching job, but he did get the OC job. So there is a prime example of why you should do it anyway.
Oh, I think you should still do it.
I'm not so sure he gets hired as the OC.
But he doesn't. No. But here's the difference. He doesn't walk into the interview the same way Ray Horton walks into the interview.
I don't believe Matt LaFleur had a shot. I don't. That's me, though. You guys don't have to agree. That's fine.
No, you're right.
I didn't remember it that way. I thought he was a legit candidate because, remember, all the talk was the Rams offense. Wow, this Rams offense is amazing. You got to get some Rams people.
And the OC was just a title. He wasn't even running the offense.
But it's not who's running it. Who's the offensive coordinator?
Sean McVay.
Yeah, but he was behind McVay. He was next in line to get a head coaching job, right or wrong?
I don't know.
LaFleur.
I don't know.
He was the next hot thing. Ultimately it parlayed into
out of L.A. People were going, yeah, he's the OC, but he's not the one running the show. It's
but
McVay.
he had the title of OC.
Okay, but people again, if it's the
why do you think they want minorities as titles as OC?
Do you think it served Eric Bieniemy well that Andy Reid runs the show? I mean, he's really the OC. You think it served him well?
It hasn't.
Bieniemy's the wink the OC,
but it served LaFleur well.
I agree.
Another part of this too.
I don't know how. I mean, honestly, it could have hurt him too.
I don't think it hurt him.
I just want to slip this in there too. Another, I think, big facet is not just the hiring process; it's the quick hook with Wilkes and with Flores. Steve Wilkes gets hired, and 1 year later, after a bad year, he's out. I think that is part of this lawsuit too, where you don't get any benefit of the doubt after you just got hired there. That's part of Wilkes' angle joining this lawsuit. I think that's something we should not overlook.
Well, the Rooney Rule is a sham.
Well, I was going to say that's in play, but you know what? Ken Wisenhunt had a quick hook here. Mike Mularkey had a quick hook on him too, and he just won a playoff game. So I don't know if that's.
But not after a year.
Ken Wisenhunt went a year and what?
Well, a year and
a half.
Malarkey was what?
Horrendous.
3 years. They were horrible. I mean, and that they were horrible. The way he ran up, the team was horrible. And even former players said he was horrible. Period.
It's closing time.
Yeah, it is.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Willie, enjoy the game. We'll see you tomorrow when you get back from Ottawa.
Bring us home a win.
Got it. See you tomorrow.
Everybody have a great rest of your Thursday. Continue to be safe. We want you back with us tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock so we can finish up the week. We'll see you then.
Robbie Stanley.
That one is by far my favorite.
Robbie and Rex Road. Weekday